Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you, too!
What's up, dirty dog?
Hello?
What up, everybody? It's good to see ya. Oh, we got that camera on. Don't need it, but there we go. It's good to see you guys. Happy Tuesday. It is good to see each and every one of you. Good morning. We're here for the next City Clowncil meeting, a.k.a. the knee-bending union. We are here. We are here. And it's good to see each and every one of you. Got a little bit of the 450s back on Broadcastify, so those ding-dongs are at it. I guess we could listen to them. Viewer discretion is advised, though, guys. Viewer discretion is advised, as always, when we listen to these ding-dongs, guys. Just want to let you know that. Let's see. Put it on the speaker for a moment here. Let's see. That's it, Dan. That's it. Hi, Terry. Good morning. How are you? Eric Previn's on X. Get it. Let's go. Shout to Eric Previn, man. I love a good lawyer fight. What's up, Tiberius? Stinks is in the front room. He's probably eating from my egg pan. Had some eggs, put some butter on the pan. I put some eggs, and I put it in water in the sink to let it soak without any soap. And then let it just soak for a little bit. Then he usually goes in there and licks it from it. It's like a soup to him. Egg soup.
I'll go on record as saying that.
Well, I wouldn't say they suck. I'd just say it's going to be a good series. Yankees are a good team, man. Your knees are bent? Oh, no. Don't let anybody else know. Let me get a quick sip of coffee here. The first sip of coffee of the morning. Dying over the knee bending. Yeah, I just wanted to change it up a little bit and see how bad the numbers are. I mean, look at the numbers right now. You guys know normally we have more than this right now. So I know they're looking at these titles and like, oh, yeah, we're going to hold them back. We're not. He said knee bending. We're not giving out any alerts. So screw his people. They're saying. Of course you got booted. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Now we dropped 8. Notice that? We just dropped 8 people like that. Shout out to YouTube, man. They love that money. They love that censorship. But they won't throw you off. They love it. Yeah, baby. That's how they do you. I want you to remember that. So when someone says, hey, support YouTube, or, I want you to remember what they do. So you don't support them at all, ever. Not to give them a penny. And that's why I say I wish that anybody who donated that way wouldn't. I wish you'd donate another way. That way they wouldn't get any money. They're not tripping. They know exactly what's going on, Mello. They don't like the title. They don't like me. They don't like us. They don't like what we talk about, what we stand for. They don't like any of it. But they'll take 30% of it. That they will. That they will. Again, Beach Bum, I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying, like, if you had decided to in the future, please think about doing it that way versus this way, because they don't like us. They're purposefully doing it. You know it. My hands are right here. I'm not clicking on nothing. You can hear me when I'm clicking on shit. You can see my hands have been down here the whole time. So the only way that's happening is because of their side. And I'm pretty sure each and every one of you who've been kicked off go to other sites on YouTube. Other channels, rather. I'm sure of it. I'm sure that Smoke and Scan is not the reason why you have YouTube. I'm sure you found YouTube way before Smoke and Scan. And I'm willing to bet, as you go into any of those rooms, this does not happen. And that's why I wrote them that kind letter when they wrote me back. Really, do you know you can do memberships? We notice you're not doing memberships. I know, because you want more money to throw more of my people in and out of the room and cause them havoc. So no, I won't do that. I won't. It's not about the money. Obviously, you haven't learned. Notice I've been here that long, YouTube, and I haven't taken not one sponsorship, and I think I got 4 this week. Fucking 4. 4 opportunities just this fucking week. And not one of them have I taken. I haven't taken one dirty dollar. So whoever does sponsor me at some point, they realize, wait a minute. He's really all about it. He didn't take no money from anybody ever in his entire existence on this month. What's going on here? All these kids take the money. Why isn't he taking the money? Because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's why. Hold on, guys. Let me just turn my fan real quick. Any moment here, they should be start naming. Yeah.
A breakfast toasted wrap. Ooh, that looks good. Okay, 2 scoops.
Got my King's jammies on. Let's get it. So I don't care. If I did, I'd be membershiping the shit out of you, begging you for money, taking every sponsorship I can. I'd be doing all that. I'm sure I'm losing thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm sure of it. But I don't care, because it's not about that. It's not why I started this. What's up, Bill? How are you? What's up, Sir Westo? Thank you, Mayor. I mean, you know, I just don't want to sell out for the almighty fucking dollar and give a shit less about their money. That's the good thing about not growing up with a lot of money. Certainly I wasn't poor, but I didn't grow up with a lot of money. That's the good thing about it. That you're not swayed by the almighty dollar at every fucking turn. Oh, wait, you could just talk about lettuce and get $5,000? Sure. Sure. What's up, Randall? Thank you. I mean, again, and let's be honest, guys. You guys, I don't know how long each one of you have been watching the show, but I'm pretty sure most of you, I'm going to go out on a limb and say most of you have been watching 3 years, at least. 3 years. And in 3 years, you ain't seen any memberships. You ain't had me hear me once ask for a dono. Or you've never seen me once do any kind of video saying, go buy these forks, because these forks are really good forks, and I use them at home. And they paid me to say that they've got really good forks. Not once. Not once. Since 2020. Okay, see, that's even further, right? So it's 4 years in, Dodgers. And that's what I'm saying. Will there be another pursuit this evening? What's your prediction? You know, Tuesday isn't the greatest for chases, gotta be honest. You know, it's just not the most conducive day. Funny enough as it is, Monday is actually a pretty decent day for chases besides Friday. Friday, Monday are the best two, if you ask me, by far. It's like Sunday, Tuesday are probably the slowest, if I had to guess. Days you almost never see a chase. Now, of course, is there sometimes? Yes, but it's just really rare. I think everybody's kind of slowed down on Tuesday. Same with Sunday. It's a slow day. See, there you go, Mayor. So you know I'm not lying. 6 to 7 years. And some of you have been here that long. So you know I'm not lying. And look at the numbers right now, guys. Do you see the YouTube numbers? Do you see how low they are? You notice that? Thank you, Cubby. But see, that's what I'm talking about, Cubby. Right there. I love you. Thank you so much for the dono, but it would have been so much better given if you could just do it through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. Because now you just gave them $3 for nothing. And you're propping up what they're doing in that sense. I mean, maybe I just need to get rid of the Snapchat offering. You know, I don't know. I'm not Snapchat, whatever the fuck it is. The Super Chat. Sorry, Super Chat. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? So they can do this to us in the room, hold us back by merely using my words. There's no cuss words up there. That's all my opinion. Okay? That's all my opinion. That's it. All right, I'm going to turn these guys off because these guys, you're not hearing anything from them. But that's kind of my point. Like, it's just, we're paying them to stay alive for nothing. You know? Just saying. Sucks. But thank you again, Cubby. I really do appreciate you. But, yeah. It's like they're spitting in our face and we're just saying, thank you. And here's your $3 for spitting in my face. So I'm paying them to do so. you know. But unfortunately, I have to be on this site. Why? Because it is the biggest. It's why I put up with it. That's it. It's no other reason. Not because they're really nice. Not because this site's so cool to use. No. None of that. The people aren't nice. They don't care about anybody. They care about money. That's all they care about. They're $4 billion a year. That's what they care about. Make no mistake about it. I can only donate via my phone, so it's a price I'm willing to give 30% to them. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying, Taylor. I don't tell people how to do it. I'm just saying is it would be better in another way, because it's also more money that comes to me to buy more things, to get newer machines, to get the helicopter again, to get all that shit. Because you don't realize how much I lose to these folks. And I would be all right with you doing it if they were nice people and they didn't do what they did purposefully, kicking people out and all that other stuff. But they do, and it's unfair. Because again, like I said, if you don't like what I'm doing, that's fine. They have a terms of service, and I'm trying to abide by it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be mean. It's like going to a restaurant. They tell me to leave. I'm not staying at the restaurant. I'm leaving. They won't have to call the cops. I'm just going to go. It's not that important. Same here. So that's all I'm trying to kind of get through to you. It's just not, it's not fair. Yeah, they make $900 million a quarter, Taylor. Every 3 months, they make $900 million. Every 3 months. That's $100 million a month, basically. If you really want to look at it. The way they look at it, if it's all cut up in each different side, of course, they get taxed, of course, just like we do, I'm assuming. I don't know. Maybe they're ultra billionaires and they don't have to pay anything. I don't know. Maybe they got great people that work for them and learn how to skirt the taxes. But I certainly don't get that privilege. I have to pay. So, sucks. Because you say to yourself, Cubby was kind enough to give me 10, so they already took 3, so there's $7. Now that $7 gets taxed by the federal government, so now that's really $5. So I've lost half of that already. Had you gone through PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, I would get, they'd take 3% of that $10. Much cheaper. The PayPal, the PayPal is right here. Hold on. Right there. Let me link it to the top. There's the link right there. And again, I'm not mad at anybody. Again, Cubby, I really do appreciate you. You're so kind for doing that. I'm just trying to make people aware of what's going on. Obviously, you can see the numbers. You guys aren't dumb. You guys have eyes that work. Here we go. There's Spindler flicking everybody off.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Angelinos and visitors, welcome to your regularly scheduled meeting of the Los Angeles City Council. Today is the 22nd day of October in the year 2024. My name is Mark.
I have a P.O. box, Don. Who's sending a check in a P.O. box?
Public comment will be taken both in person in the council chamber and
Speaking of that,
teleconferencing.
which one of you sent me toilet paper?
We begin our proceedings by calling the roll.
Best toilet paper I've ever received. But one of you sent toilet paper and didn't send a message or a note. Look at him right here behind me.
All right, first order of business.
Approval of the minutes of October 15th, 2024.
Councilmember Yaroslavsky moves. Councilmember
I do, Mogul.
Next.
It's on the
mandatory resolutions.
It's on the.
Councilmember Hernandez moves. Councilmember
It's on the
McCosker
link
seconds.
tree.
Next.
I just forget to put it up. That's why Turtle always reminds me. Hey, put it
up. All right,
I always forget to.
Ask
because again, it's not about the money to me,
The council and
I'm
the
just saying if you do
the
that.
recitation of the Pledge of Allegiance.
My pleasure.
There was. I don't know, Kenneth, but if I go and get the toilet paper and show it to you, you'll realize why they sent it to me.
I pledge allegiance.
It's not regular toilet paper. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate you, Rob.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get fucked.
All right, we have Mr. Herman and at least one other disruptor.
Oh,
Those
Mr.
are the
Herman.
First warnings for both. Mr. Herman continues. Camille is the other one. Mr. Herman continues to disrupt. Those are your last warnings. Mr. Clerk, let's run through the agenda.
Yes, Mr. President. There is a request to continue item 3 to November 5th, 2024.
Without objection, that'll be the order.
Items 1 through 12 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 13 through 25 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Item 26 is a closed session item considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. 10 votes are required for consideration.
All right, without objection, those items are before us. Members, are there any specials? Specials members, Mr. Price.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to recuse myself
You're
from
gonna bite.
items 2 and
Hold on, let me go
21
get the
because
toilet
my wife's
paper.
employer
You guys will like it.
has worked with the applicant on this item. And out of abundance of caution, the city attorney has asked me to recuse myself from item 24 due to the fact that I am a landlord.
All right.
And before we move on, I believe that was Adam Smith who yelled out while Mr. Price was speaking. Mr. Smith, this is your first and only warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting.
Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
An amending motion for item 12, which can be read.
Yes, so the amending motion reads that I move that item number 12 on today's council agenda be amended to adopt the following additional recommendation. And this is a request for a report back. Instruct the
it's
city
better than
administrative
420
officer and
paper.
request the city attorney to report on trends related to the number of cases and costs associated with the city's liability settlements from 2021 through 2024, including number of cases processed each year, broken down by cases handled
wipe my
by
ass
outside
with
counsel
these three
versus the
clowns.
city attorney's office.
Don't
Settlement
think I'm
amounts
not going to
by
wipe
type
my
of
ass with it
lawsuit,
and put a
e.g.,
picture of some
trip and
shit
fall,
on there
right-of-way
and
road
send them and
incidents,
tag it to all of them.
personnel, etc.
because I am.
Settlement amounts for cases settled by outside counsel versus the city attorney's office, trends associated with outside counsel expenses, and comparison of the city's settlement amounts relative to similar cases handled by the County of Los Angeles. And I believe it's being co-presented also
Yes,
by
Glitch,
Councilmember
she was
Park.
one
And
of
is there
them
a
on
second
there.
to this motion?
All right. Mr. McCosker. Mr. McCosker, special?
There's
Oh,
my poll,
you just-
guys.
Oh, you were
I
second.
put up a
Okay,
poll this
Mr.
morning.
Lee.
Quick question. Do you think the
Thank you, Mr.
Democrats will
President.
cheat
I'd
in
like
this
to call item
election?
number 24 for a separate vote.
87 votes
All
so
right, item
far.
number 24. Councilmember Hernandez.
87, and it's
Yes,
95%
thank you, Council President. I
to
would like to call item
5%.
17 special for a separate vote and item 12 for questions.
All right. Mr. De Leon.
Mr. President, could do item 23 until Friday, the 25th of October.
Item 23 till Friday the 25th.
And that's the first half hour.
of October.
87 votes in the first half hour.
Okay, this coming Friday.
95% of those people, the 87,
9 for
says
comments.
yes.
All right. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Yes, item 10 for a separate vote.
Okay. All right, and I have a, Council District 8 has a special for item number 25. City Attorney has the language.
Yes, this is a technical amendment, so the motion reads that I move that item number 25 on today's council agenda be amended to adopt the following in lieu of recommendation 1 on today's council
Yeah, I
agenda
love you,
with the
my
changes
best friend.
indicated below.
Yeah, you are.
1, transfer and appropriate
vote on my,
$316,832 from the
my,
Capital and
Twitter.
Technology Improvement Expenditure Program Fund, number 100/54, appropriation unit number, and this is the new language, 00
Many ways,
Y
syndrome.
878.
Having people
Browning
attack the
Boulevard,
ballot boxes,
1700
stealing the
pedestrian
ballots.
tunnel closure. And the
I've already heard of
following
that
language is
already
struck.
happening here in
00
California.
Y 977.
Pictures, but I can't show you.
Pedestrian tunnel closure at Logan Elementary School. And
But
that
I
is the
swear on
end of the
everything that I
language.
love
The rest of the recommendation
that is
remains
true,
unchanged.
including that cat right there. And you know I wouldn't swear on
All
it
right.
if it weren't true.
And is there a second to this?
And you know if they're doing that here, you know they're in trouble.
Councilmember Padilla seconds. Thank you. All right. Any other specials? All right. Seeing none, what items are available for us to vote on at this time?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 1, 4 through 9, and 11.
All right. Those items are now before us. Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Me too,
Mr.
Bill.
President,
Me too.
Just before that, I believe
I break out in hives having to hang out with them.
there is a request to hold item 9 for questions by
I mean, they are
comments
subhuman.
by Councilmember De Leon.
Okay. So can
right,
we
heating up first
reread
one. Let's
the
go.
items that are
Yes.
before us?
First
Yes,
bags
the
heating
items
up.
before the council would be item 1, 4 through 8, and 11.
All right, Mr. Soto Martinez.
Good luck at your ballot getting
Apologies,
there,
Council
Gail.
President. I'd like to continue item number 4 for 2 months, please.
That's my point.
Okay.
Go through, find your
Without
thing, rip
objection.
it open, see what you voted for, and rip
All right,
yours up.
so let's do it one more time. Which items are before us?
Put the other ones back.
And for
He's still
item
there
number
until the end of
4,
November,
for
I
2
think,
months,
Beach
that
Bum.
would be Friday,
He's,
December
he's not the
13th.
president. Marquise is now the president. That fool over there.
So the items before council would be
So
items
Krikorian
1,
should be on the horseshoe
5
sitting as a
through
normal
8,
councilman.
and 11.
Still till November.
All right, those items are now before us.
That's it, Jeffy.
Let's open the roll, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Is Krikorian right
14
there? I can't see the signs in his way. He should be sitting like right where I'm at, right here. Yep,
All
he's
right.
right there, having coffee.
What's
he's
next?
there. He's right
Mr.
there,
President,
having
would
coffee.
you like to take up item number 12 as amended?
All right, let's take item 12 as amended. Let's open the roll, close the roll.
Bianca, thank you
Tabulate
so
the
much,
vote.
Mr.
Bianca.
President, I'm sorry. Number 12 there.
Bianca
is
Christmer,
requests
thank you
to
so
hold after
much.
Questions by Councilmember Hernandez.
All right, but we can do that before, a public hearing has been held, so we can do that now, right? All right, Councilmember Hernandez.
Anybody coming at? Who might ask the questions to?
I love the gumball machine with a cat in it. Thank you
What's your
so
question? And then
much.
we can call the people to the
Gumby,
desk.
you're so awesome. Thank you so much.
Well, I have several questions. I mean, this is not.
For not just that one, but the other one too.
Who are your
That
questions
one's awesome.
for? Which departments?
That's
Which
awesome.
offices?
The cat in the
CAO's
gumball
office, the
machine.
one that wrote the report.
Oh, I love it.
I just-
Thank you,
All right,
Bianca.
so we'll hold this until we get we'll make sure that the people that can address the questions you have are here. What's next, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, would you like to move on to item 26, the closed session item that was considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee?
All right, Mr. Blumenfield?
I think we can consider this
All
an
right,
open
we'll put it
session.
back on when
a
Stinks is
relatively small
back. He
case,
left.
Heard by the Budget and Finance Committee, and we agreed with the city attorney's recommendation.
Licking this bowl clean.
All right, so those items are now before us. If we can read those if we need to read the settlements into the record and call the roll?
Yes, sir. For item 26 in the case entitled West 43rd Place LLC versus the City of Los Angeles.
Of course they're nihilists. They don't care about anybody but themselves.
Up to $45,000 in settlement.
It's about the power and keeping the power.
All right, let's open the roll,
Not about helping people
close the
ever.
roll, tabulate the vote.
Never is that
14 eyes.
never is that a thing.
All right. We have someone here from we have Mr. Seha from the CAO's office with regard to item 12, Councilmember Hernandez.
And just remember, folks that are black, remember, you're not black if you don't vote for them. Barack told you, and Joe Biden told you. And old Charlemagne, the
I will
fool.
say that I think it's unfortunate. That
Oh, Charlemagne living on Candyland. It keeps me warm next to the stove.
BFI is only a handful of members, and for such an important
Shout out to Charlemagne.
report, like we should have gotten a report here in full council. That's all I gotta say. I think it's really unfortunate that that didn't happen. But my question is, when it talks about item number 3 in the
you guys- that's
report,
what you guys
instruct
were
departments
talking
to
about,
absorb
Velvet.
overspending within their budgeted resources and adjust operations where necessary to do so.
What's up,
Does
Jason?
this include future liability costs?
How are you, bud?
With regard to future liability costs, are you referring to settlements and judgments that may come before this
Yes.
council? In those cases, those
Barack's on the
unfortunately are
list.
not
It's
costs
coming
that
out.
are,
You'll see.
typically charged back to departments, if you will, with one exception being any salary costs due to, some type of employment case.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. It's
That's
time
where
for
we have a liability account to pay for those things, and unfortunately this year, that has been exhausted.
And so that's why I asked that question. If that account has been exhausted, and this item right here says, insofar as they require use of the general funds,
Todd.
in the item before,
What's up, Oscar?
would this not? Why aren't we having the departments take that on if that money is then going to be pulled from the general fund?
Well, because
We like to
when it
overspend.
comes to liability cases, in many cases it's related to instances or scenarios that happened many years before even the general manager or new general manager is there managing that department. Some of these cases are 4 or 5 years old, coming to a close through a settlement or a judgment, and so it's not something that we are able to budget for within department's resources. That's why, again, we have to set aside money every year for those cases.
Great, thank you. I have other questions, but without having the report being presented to us, I don't think that they matter being asked because it won't make sense without the context, so, thank you.
Come here. Come here. Come here.
Councilmember De Leon.
Come here, Bubba. You okay? Something spooked him. That was weird. Come here, Bubba.
I'm sorry. We need everybody who's booing to remain quiet so we can continue with this meeting.
I love it.
If you continue...
Come here, buddy.
So... Sergeants, can we please identify who that was?
That was Camille Lewis. You could tell it's her. You could hear her voice.
Okay. To anybody who's booing and stopping this meeting from continuing, again, you are subject to warnings and potential removal from this meeting. So please
We haven't even started yet.
Quiet while we're trying to conduct the meeting.
We haven't even started yet.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you very
item
much.
21 for comments as well. Item 21 for comments.
You're asking for a special?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Almost.
I just forgot to it's
Okay.
not on the consent file.
As long as we didn't vote on it, I think.
We did not vote on it.
Okay, good. So we'll come back to it. Councilmember Soto Martinez?
Come here, buddy.
Thank you so much, Council President. I have a couple of questions as well.
Okay, good.
Can you? We're on an item. Yes, that's correct. Can you? So we've discussed prioritized critical hiring process in personnel and hiring. Want to have a moment to get our CAO here?
I'm sorry, Terry. Didn't mean to.
Good
I
morning.
tried to
Good.
get away from the mic.
Yeah, so the prioritized critical hiring process has been discussed quite a bit in personnel and hiring.
Thank you,
and
Terry.
as folks have
Thank you,
been
Lace.
tuning into that meeting know that I and
Thank you,
other
Park.
council members had pretty
Yeah.
strong objections to continuing that. Can you please
Thanks,
describe
guys.
why you think, and it takes forever to hire folks here in the city of Los Angeles. There are positions that
Thank
general
you, Rat.
managers
Thank you,
have
Scott.
that become vacant.
I'm sorry.
That I think should be
Do it
able
into
to
the
be
mic.
filled and not go through the PCH process. Can you just please explain why you think we need to continue it the way it is right now?
Thank you.
So, good morning, Matt Zabo, City Administrative Officer.
Oh, this guy again, the
prioritized
Danish.
Critical hiring
The
process
Danish stuck on the
was
top of his
designed
head.
For this body
Like,
to
bro, I think it's
identify
time to
the
just
priority
shave everything.
positions.
I think it's time.
Understanding that,
I think it's just time.
as
It
we
just looks
are
weird that you have a Danish on
facing
top of your
some
head,
financial
and everything else is
difficulties, we
shaved.
would make a choice
And you got
to
the weird
continue
eyes.
hiring
Look at those
the
eyes.
priority positions.
You can see it in the eyes. Look at the
and
eyebrows.
delay
Look at the
hiring
eyes.
of the non-priority positions.
That's a weirdo.
So in
You
keeping
can just tell he's weird.
the PCH process in place,
Straight
we
up.
would still continue to hire the priority positions, approve the priority positions.
He's a
but
cartoon
we would
character.
recommend keeping it in place, and that would
That's it, stranger.
require some slowing of the hiring of the non-priority positions.
think he's a
until,
lesbian.
We are able to restore our reserve fund to 5%.
Some intense coke guy.
I'm being very direct. We are in the
It's weird because his
position where
eyelids
we,
are like pinkish and
need
purple.
to generate some additional
Then
savings
he's got
in
those
our budget
weird, like
because of
Spock.
the
He almost
much
looks like
greater than
Spock, like a
expected
Timu
required
Spock.
expenditures as it relates to liability claims.
Right. So, are you saying that the commitment is
Righty fog?
This is the
Just
thing
saying,
that,
you
that
can
I'm,
tell.
I'm worried about. We have already cut positions
Crazy
down
eyes.
to quite a bit, and constituents call us about streetlights, potholes, things like that are just the services take forever with 311. If
True.
one of those positions, someone retires or gets fired or they got on a leave of absence or whatever reason, and we need to fill that position, I don't understand why we need to that position has to go through the PCH process once again. Because what's going to end up happening is services are going to continue to, be dwindled, and that concerns me as a council member. So, but if I'm hearing correctly, you're saying that position will be refilled?
And your
If I
haircut
could just
game
answer
is
that with
fucked up.
an actual case that's occurred in the past. A department always has probably.
I look like Joaquin Phoenix. I look nothing like Joaquin
So,
Phoenix.
In this instance, say a position that is more urgent becomes vacant, and they would want to prioritize that ahead of.
What do you think he
the
looks
other
like
ones that
Joaquin?
have been in the queue.
I don't think
We
I
need to
look
know
like
that
Joaquin.
because
I've seen him enough
that
times.
way we will prioritize that urgent position that became vacant more recently above others that have been in the queue for a longer period of time. That's the whole process that has been established, is prioritizing those positions that are critical for services ahead of others that are, still needed for services, but probably not to the same level of urgency as something that
Well, today is another meeting, Todd, but that's for Thornton Township. So we'll see.
There is a possibility of that. It depends on
I hear
the
a lot
funding
of things
sources
coming out of
as
there,
well.
Todd.
If a position happens to be
Let's
special
let it
funded
happen.
or partially special funded,
I'm not the one
those
that just
obviously
listens
have
to things and
some revenue source other
I
than
wanna
the general
hear
fund
it,
that will be
see it.
helpful. So it's.
I look like
it
George
all depends
Clooney?
on
Yeah,
the scenario.
no.
Okay. I just want to be clear, but for the public to know what we're voting on. We're voting on the possibility of, positions
Stinks,
being
come
vacated
here.
for whatever reason. People retired or they get fired, or it could be a ton
Come
of
here,
reasons.
Bubba.
And there's a possibility that position will not be refilled.
Look, I can almost
And,
whistle.
I have issues with that. I think if we made a decision, this council made a decision in the last budget process to say what positions we wanted to keep and which ones we were able to go through the PCH. And so what we're hearing today is there are positions that we made a decision to keep on the budget that there's a possibility they will not be refilled. All right, so I have more questions, but I'm over time. Is there anybody else in the queue? No? Okay. The third
Elite school
recommendation is
sued
instruct
after
departments to
expelling
absorb
boy
overspending with
10
their budget
for
resources
using
and just
squirt gun
operations where
emojis
necessary
and
to do
rap
so.
lyrics.
Do we have
Wait, what?
an analysis of which departments have traditionally gone over the budget that they have been given through the budget process, and how much are those amounts?
Fucking
Which departments
emojis.
are we
I thought we got rid of them.
So that will be presented to you in the forthcoming.
Don't use it daily. They're gonna
financial
they're gonna
status
suspend
report,
you. Then you'll have to sue. But you might win.
Which will detail which departments are overspending their allotted budget.
But are we going to have how many, are you going to go back are you looking at just this year? Because I'm looking about, can we go back 5 years and see which departments have done this?
A fifth grader has been expelled.
If that's the council's desire, we certainly
from
could do
one
that.
of Los
The
Angeles'
financial
most
status report
prestigious private
is
schools for
tool
sending
to
a
manage
friend
the
a
fiscal
squirt
year's
gun
budget.
emoji
so
and
it
rap
will,
lyrics,
it
prompting a
will
lawsuit from the boys'
provide
parents.
information about the current fiscal year's budget and recommendations to correct that.
The Curtis School, a kindergarten through sixth grade school located on blah 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 street in Encino, expelled a 10-year-old after his classmate traded emails referencing YNW Mellow song "Murder on My Mind" in September. The boys' parents are suing, saying the decision is to expel their son from a $38,000 per year school was arbitrary and capricious.
Then obviously they're going to have the most inflexibility to do their job, right? And so I want to know where those departments.
That's
are at.
weird.
So I don't know if I need to do a vote on that, but that's I would like the report back.
It's weird.
What
a weird deal,
Will it
dude.
suffice for the CAO to make such a commitment to us in the FSFRS?
That's fine with me.
Can you make such a commitment?
38K down the drain.
All right. Thank you.
I have no more questions.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez.
Over an email.
Thank you, Council President.
Didn't know 10-year-olds were
I don't know if we heard
emailing.
earlier, Matt, but I
But
was
I
really
guess they
hoping that
are.
we would get that same presentation or a similar presentation that BFI got. I think it's unfortunate that we didn't get it here, especially when things are so dire in our budget. So I just want to share that with you now that you're here. But for item number 5 on the instructions, instruct the CAO
It's a
and
private
request the
learning
city attorney
academy,
to
that's
report
why.
on potential strategies
Super
to limit future
expensive
liability
usually.
payouts. What does that look like? Because I've heard from attorneys that have worked cases opposition to the city attorney.
Said
or
capricious,
particularly
not
around
my
police
words, theirs.
Liability, around police violence. And what those attorneys have shared with me is that sometimes they'll offer to settle in the beginning of the case, but the city attorney fights it, prolonging the case.
That's the
increasing
problem,
the
Randy.
cost of what the
Parents.
settlement would be, increasing the lawyer's fees for the opposition of these cases. Is that what we're looking to reduce? Are we looking, I would love to also see, do you have an itemized list of what one of these settlements looks like? Like what
Are they
most of these
JC?
settlement dollars
What's
going
her
to?
name's always there?
Are they going to
Camille.
legal fees,
She's
or are
good
they going to
friends
actually
with what's his
people
name?
Because Because if it's going to legal fees,
Stacy,
then we need
too,
to
I
really
think.
assess
Stacy's
why
her
do we
friend.
keep fighting these cases if they're leading to such large payouts?
So
Like, if
she's
we
there a
mess
lot.
up,
She just
let's
doesn't ever
be
come up and
accountable
speak much.
and not add additional costs for at the end just to be held accountable for messing up. And I know that we try to defend, we don't try to be
Terry, those are
liable as a
weird
city,
eyes.
But this
Look
is
at his
just
eyes.
ridiculous seeing these costs and how long these cases are prolonged for. So that's what I would like to see, an itemized assessment of a couple of settlement cases to look at what those numbers are, but also if you could just kind of dive into what instruction number 5 could actually look like.
And thank you. And that is
All right,
the
everybody, it's
intent
time for
of instruction number 5. That would be part of the analysis that we would bring back to the council. We have seen the number and magnitude of the settlements and judgments
Those
increase
eyes.
dramatically over the past 2 years.
That's Spock.
Historically, over the last 6 or 7 years, we have been able to maintain our
Never seen a
liability
dude with eyebrows like
around
that.
the $100 million a year level. Last year,
That is velvet.
it far exceeded that by more than $100 million. And then, of course, this year, where we budgeted $100 million for liability claims, we have already incurred $260 million, and it is only October. So that we need to conduct that analysis, present it to the council. The amending motion.
Oh, no, this is
that
the
I
victims'
heard
hall
introduced
goes
will
for it.
also provide.
Where all the victims come.
That will also provide.
Then it's a
important
contest to see
comparative
who's the biggest
analysis
victim.
To see what's happening in our city, how that compares to similar settlements and judgments in other cities, so that we can try to narrow in on and focus in on how we can reduce that liability.
I'm a black man. There's no justice for me here in America. I should be at the front of the line.
Yeah, well, I'm gay and subject to ridicule and discrimination wherever I go. Women are oppressed throughout the world. Give it a rest.
Yeah, instruction number 3 around having departments absorb
That
some of their
in a
overspending.
nutshell.
Why does that not include liability costs? I know that these cases are from the past, but it's still the same department. And some of these are for employment. Some of them are for workplace, hostile environments. Sometimes it's time to learn a lesson. So why aren't we having departments be responsible for some of those actions?
That is a conversation that we can
good
have
trade
and should
talk.
have. We have discussed this in prior years. It has typically run up against the reality that should you have an extraordinary judgment against the Department of Transportation or Department of Street Services, for example, for a $15 or $20 million judgment, that could significantly cripple that department in that given year for its base operations. So we would need to figure out how to manage that if it is the desire of the council to hold departments more accountable for actions of their employees that would lead to liability payouts. We should have that conversation, but we also need to be mindful of significant consequences and negative consequences it could have on basic services.
Agreed. And maybe it's not the full 15 million. Maybe we can start off at a percentage. This is what you will be this percentage of your liability costs is what you'll be responsible for. And if those conversations have been happening for years and we still haven't come to a conclusion, please tell us. Or can we have that serious conversation and finally get this over the finish line? Because it's like history is repeating itself. And now we've inherited a budget that it's going to take us a long time to fix. So I would hope that we can finally get that across the finish line. So please do let us know what we need to do.
Who squandered the budget before you?
Okay, understood, and that will be a component of the report back that we'll provide.
I mean, some of the ones that are federally indicted,
Thank
and
you.
some of the ones that are
Mr.
in
Kokorian?
prison, like the one that just got 13 years 2 weeks ago.
Thank you, Councilmember Hernandez, for raising that point, because that's it's a point that we have to continue to discuss, and I appreciate the motion introduced by Councilmember Yaroslavsky and
Sorry,
Councilmember Park today
Mr. Kokorian, let's stop. Somebody's having a medical problem in the back that we need to either get them care or...
Yeah, maybe we can get them care outside of the council chambers.
We can get them, and now
Just take 'em
Jason
out.
Reedy's disrupting the meeting. First warning. Mr. Kokorian.
Thank you. When it comes to situations of extraordinary liability, It obviously would not be fair to impose that burden on a department. It could be ruinous to their operations. But ordinary liability, the sort of thing that happens every day that we get many, many cases about, I think a strong argument can be made. And I just want to give an example of one time that I tried to impose this when I was on the claims board, when the Department of Recreation and Parks, you know, Mr. President, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. Can we deal with the situation?
Yeah, if we can't.
Just get them out, please.
Yeah,
Please,
this
Mr.
person who's
President.
coughing has disrupted the meeting several times. We're going to ask them to leave.
I'm going to guess it's going to be contagious, too.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to be contagious. Nobody wants to listen to you.
And Camille Lewis, you've also been warned already. So we're disrupting the comments made by Councilmember Krikorian. So please do not disrupt this meeting or you will be subject to removal.
I love it. I fucking love it.
All right. Now, just for a little bit of history, there was a case involving recreation and parks in which somebody stepped in a hole on a basketball court, fell down a hillside next to the basketball court, and was fairly severely injured. And we ended up settling that case for over $500,000, I think. And so in claims board, I asked Recreation and Parks, what could have been done to prevent this case from happening? And they said, well, we needed to, you know, fill that hole in the thing. And I said, okay, do you do that yourself or do you contract it out? Well, no, we just call somebody. How long would it take? Usually we can get it done in a day. How much would it cost? A few $100s. So there's no excuse of lack of personnel, lack of funding, or anything else. It's just not getting around to solving the problem that's right in front of their eyes every single day. And as a result,
it's in front of my eyes right now.
So
all of
there
you.
are many times in our
You guys are the
departments
problem.
where, you know, we need to impose greater responsibility, greater accountability on managers to manage in a way that will reduce liability. We just do. So that's that thought. In terms of early settlement, I mean, these are things that we need to review, and hopefully a comparison with other government entities like the county will help produce some of those results. But Councilmember Hernandez, in my experience, I've more often been disappointed in the other direction, that the city attorneys have said, well, you know, we didn't bring a summary judgment motion because we didn't have time, or we didn't have the personnel, or our caseload is too high, or something like that, that the defense of the city was not as aggressive as it should be. But there are many cases, especially involving civil rights violations or other things, where there are attorney's fees obligations, and that changes the whole dynamic. So again, this is someplace where we need to look closely, comparing between
John?
a trip and fall or an employment case. Those are very different situations, and so
Yes, you can sue.
we really need to take a very deep dive in this, because we had
Oh, for sure he's a white dude for
year
Harris.
after year after year, we were budgeting liability at around 80 or 100 million a year, and then it bumped up
I'll be
to
right
about
back.
120, and we got really concerned about that increase. And it's more than doubled now in 2 years. That's not because of some change in practice by the city. It clearly isn't. This is stuff that has happened years ago that's now becoming ripe for settlement or trial, and jury awards are going through the roof, and there's something else going on that we need to get to the bottom of. It seems like juries do not understand that the wrongdoer is not necessarily held accountable. It's city services that are lost when there's a trial judgment like that. So we definitely need to drill down onto the underlying cause of this. Okay, so that's all on that. The main question I had for you, we do have significant revenue shortfall compared to budget. Usually our budget projections over the years for revenues have been quite accurate. We have a historical track record, other than during the collapse of COVID, when revenue projections were very accurate. So what are some of the elements that you see that caused a shortfall in revenues over projections this year?
Well,
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yeah, the principal issue that lowered the projected and adopted reserve fund level of 5.07% down to the 4.12% was
I'm the
revenues
fatty
coming in
behind him, Joe.
below projections by the year end, and it took some months to do the final close the final books. The main areas where revenue was down were in the most economically sensitive areas: business tax, sales tax, and hotel tax. What we saw last year and what we discussed during the budget process and during the management of fiscal 23-24's budget was that
I agree with you, Terry.
We were feeling the effects. The local economy was responding to the high inflation rates of the past 2 years and the high interest rates. We're seeing inflation come down because the high interest rates are doing their job, but they're doing their job by slowing the economy.
What a liar,
And the slowed economy meant that there was less business tax, less sales tax, and there wasn't, and our international tourism still has not rebounded fully. We see some signs of some optimistic signs.
Sure.
With the interest rates being lowered, and with some projections that they will be lowered even further. Inflation is down, not to where it needs to be, but to a much more sustainable rate.
Yeah, it's much more sustainable
those are
here.
positive signs, but the impact that it had in the revenue that we brought in last year persisted throughout. So
Professional
we
liar.
will report in our financial status report our first indications of where revenue is for the first part of this year. They will be very early. There will not be a lot of data, but at that point we'll be able to make some assessment as to whether the revenue is continuing to decline below projections or not.
It feels so.
Councilmember Padilla.
I just kind of wanted to, after hearing everyone speak thus far.
Will she sniff?
I'm hoping somebody agrees with me and potentially seconds. In Section 5 of the
Time for
instructions,
round
that in addition
3.
to having the CAO and the city attorney to report on potential strategies to limit future liability payouts, that we also include the departments, because I think our departments would also be able to say, these are the 10 things that we think could potentially cause a liability case, but these are the top 5 that are the most important that we think need to be fixed as soon as possible. So I would like to amend that we also include in Instruction 5 the departments.
All right, you have a couple seconds, Mr. Hernandez, Ms.
No
Padilla.
sniff.
All right.
No sniff.
Could I make a recommendation that it be the CAO and city attorney working with the departments that are responsible for most of the liability payouts? Because we will need to work with them, but it might be better to, instead of having multiple strategies coming to you, for us to work with each department to consolidate the recommendations.
That's fair.
Okay.
All right, Councilmember Hernandez.
Thank you, Council President. If I could just make an ask, I know that we're supposed to ask for presentations, but can it just be like a commitment, because the budget is so tight, that when these things come up that we have a presentation? Because I'll make the ask, but if it could just be automatic.
Yeah, so Mr. Hernandez, a couple things. I think one, you can always make the ask, that's true, but also we will have before this council the financial status report in a couple weeks.
It'll be released Friday.
Friday?
Yes.
And then it'll be in front of this council, and we'll make sure we have a full presentation that will go over liability and all the other areas of the council. So I'll make that commitment to you now that we'll be prepared to have a full commitment then.
Great, thank
full
you.
Full presentation then.
Thank you, and then also the report backs on these instructions as well in the
Yes.
future? Okay, thank you.
All right, so we can do all that together with the FSR report in front of full council?
We should be able to. We'll be able to report, when we report on the FSR, we'll provide as much information as we're able to gather by that time.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so I don't see any other speakers on the queue, so we've got an amendment on the floor first, I believe, Mr. Clark?
Man, can we get to work?
Yes, sir. Believe there was an amending motion introduced by Councilmember Padilla and seconded by Councilmember Hernandez.
Fireworks haven't started yet. Wait for the
All right,
public.
that amendment is before us. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
Should be after this vote here.
14 ayes.
All right. What's next?
We will have to vote on the item as amended.
All right. Let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
14 ayes.
All right. What's next? Thank you.
Mr. President, the council may now vote on item 10. It was called special for a separate vote by Councilmember Rodriguez.
All right. And a comment? Okay, Council, any comments? No comments on this one? All right. Let's open the roll on this item. Close the roll. Tabulate the vote.
12 ayes, 2 noes.
All right. Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Can we hold item 13 for some minor clarifying amendments that we're working on right now, please?
All right, so we'll
Thank
come
you.
back to 13 because there are amendments or changes in the works.
And
All right.
Mr. President, there is a request to send item 10 forthwith.
All right, without objection, that'll be the order. What's next?
I believe that takes care of the items, Mr. President. You can move on to public comment.
All right, before we move on to public comment, I want to recognize items 14 and 15, which we'll vote on after public comment. But as they are here, our two nominees for Charter Commission.
Good evening.
Martin Schlater and Jorge Nuno are with us today. I just want to recognize them and give members the opportunity to, one, meet them, and two, ask any questions that they would have at this time.
Thank you, VPOL, for 45 months.
Seeing none, we will go through public comment.
Let's go,
and we'll come back
VPOL.
to the items at the end of public comment. And with that, we'll read the instructions for public comment into the record.
Yes, sir. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment
All
should
right,
call
people that want to call in,
669-254-5252
here's the number.
and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press *9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press *6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn
We'll
to speak,
find out,
either
Lobster.
at the podium or on the phones, please state which of the
Hey, his
agenda
hair is
items you'd like to
nicely
speak to.
combed today.
You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total for the items open for public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are on topic, you will get one brief warning from me or the council president. At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic, you will forfeit the rest of your speaking time and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are items 13 through 22 and items 24 and 25. So again, let me repeat.
LA traffic
the
nightmare.
items that are
I
open
love
for
it.
public comment are items 13 through 22 and items
As
24
game
and
one
25.
of the Dodgers starts,
Item number 23 has been continued to to
the
October
Lakers
25th.
play
Members of the public may
Suns.
also speak for up to 1 minute for general public.
2 hours later.
During general
all
public
within the
comment,
same area.
members of the public may speak to any of
Pink
the items
Floyd's
or
playing in
anything else
Inglewood.
in the city's subject matter
East LA
jurisdiction.
Classics at SoFi.
For members of the public calling in, when it is your turn to
What
speak,
was the other one?
an
There's one
automated
more.
message from Zoom
Missing
will prompt
one
you to
more.
press *6
All in the
to
same
unmute
time.
yourself. If you do not do so,
USC plays at
council staff will prompt
at
you once
Coliseum on Figueroa.
At that point, you need to immediately unmute yourself.
Downtown on
or
Friday, bro,
unfortunately,
is going to
you
be
will forfeit
crushed.
your speaking time. and you will
Crushed,
have to
homie.
move on to the next caller.
Crushed.
Finally, because of a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, two things are important. First, while waiting for your turn to speak, please keep an ear to the phone so you know in real time when it is your turn to press *6 to unmute. Second, if you're listening to this meeting on another device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it's your turn to speak. Between the feedback and the time delay, it will cause a great deal of confusion if you continue to listen on your other devices. Thank you.
All right, here we go finally, guys. Viewer discretion is advised. We finally have the
I will
public.
begin by calling several names. Dr. D. Lupia Kua, Greenspan, Henry Marini, Andrew Graebner, Brianna Floyd, Yahoo Sinwa,
Brianna Floyd.
Jaime Cusick, Donald Harlan.
Oh my God, please.
Vincent Leaphart in Audit, LA.
Holy shit, we have an all-star lineup. 3-inch Shrimp, Mr. Spindler, Mr. Herman. Whole all-star lineup tonight. Viewer discretion is advised, everybody.
Yeah, would he speak in all items and non-agenda public comment?
So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general
Well,
public
thank you,
comment.
Mr.
Please
Bar
begin with the
License
item.
317-217 in my complaint. Well, we know that on item 20, we have a rescinding counsel on this fucking path on homelessness. But what does that dumb bitch know about birria when we know that Noodles has done really nothing to compromise the path and the bridge between what David O'Carter has said at the Brentwood and UCLA suck a dick to transfer 37882 to the general city purpose. No, bitch. Judge Carter ordered you to build fucking housing for veterans, you dumb cunt. And instruct and authorize the fucking clerk, you up there, China boys, to process the neighborhood coalition to fix his fucking enterprise of criminal corruption and development. That's the path and that's the bridge I'm connecting to, Pumpkinhead. Then, on Kevin DeLeon, who never would say fuck the police, but the other candidate did, fuck her too. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez, in her support to instruct LAHD obligate funds to project funds to be transferred. Is this stealing? I don't know. Let's ask the GOAT guy. Oh, he don't know. He's too fucking busy talking to Hernandez. But I'll ask the controller to look into the instructions that David O'Carter, the judge, ordered you white niggers to fix the housing problems. Then I go
which
into
item are you speaking to?
Oh, Pumpkinhead, I only get 60 seconds and you interrupted me. Don't do that. That is gross, Grope.
Which item are you speaking to?
Well, now I'm on CD 14, motherfucker, which is 23. Isn't that up on the board?
So item 23, if you were listening, was
you're
continued.
Right. I meant 24, nigga, because I can't read. I can't read on the flexibility and design and policies of the fucking landlords who raise the rents against me, a white nigger too, who's trying to save America from the overcharging of rent control, in which, again, only Kevin DeLeon can save us from this shit. After all, I'm not the one saying fuck the police. She said it. Besides that, to resolve the 22, 23, 24 state legislative program, which I don't propose and support, fuck all rent, fuck all landlords, and fuck the city of Los Angeles for allowing this shit to happen. Fuck you. Now for my general public comment. So, we all understand that Brentwood and UCLA suck a dick is in a lot of trouble with Judge David O'Carter, who put his military boot up your ass for stealing. Steve Soberoff is a fucking criminal, and that's the reason why he's no longer on the LAPD Police Commission, in which we should audit and investigate what criminal problems he created with LAPD. Fuck the police. Niggas with attitude, that's my problem. I will always have a problem with the police because the goddamn police is to protect and serve, not watch and see that we have these fucking people sleeping on our fucking sidewalk and streets while the fucking mayor, that goddamn fucking twat, doesn't do a goddamn thing to save me from all this shit. So in other words, 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely, fuck the police.
Okay, before the next speaker comes up, I understand that the words and the language that Mr. Herman, your time is done. You have already been warned. Please vacate the podium.
He's angry. First time I've seen him pissed.
For everybody who's here, if this is your first time, we do apologize. Mr. Herman uses Speaker, please listen to what I'm saying. Speaker, this is your first and only warning. Please, before you say anything, listen to what I'm about to say.
Lost control.
Speaker, please
Pastor Thomas, you're disrupting the meeting. I'm so sorry you're disrupting meeting. Use your first warning.
Pastor?
If you just listen.
This is your second warning.
Again, so what I'm trying to say is that we recognize, so the speaker
All right,
who's in the black cap, unfortunately.
Pastor Thomas, you're excused from the meeting.
Oh, Pastor's out of here.
Pastor Thomas, we're asking you to leave the meeting.
See you later, Pastor. It's getting spicy, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting spicy.
Okay, so Pastor, I apologize. You have been excused from this meeting. So again, we apologize for the offensive language that's used by Mr. Herman, and I suspect will be used by other speakers during their public comment. We do.
It is, Dom. That's why we watch it.
So they are trying to, my guess is bait people into interrupting this meeting to voice their opinions about being offended. So we hear you, but we have to allow it during the public comment. If it happens again
Victim
outside
contest.
of their specific individual public comment period, we will address it as a disruption to this meeting.
I'm oppressed.
But during public
I'm
comment,
more oppressed.
please don't give them the time of day and do what they want you to do, which is essentially to interrupt the meeting, which forces us to warn the people who are stopping the public comment from continuing.
It's off.
So
it's on fire
again,
right now.
None of this is condoned or approved by City Council.
We're
It is
one
a part
speaker
of the
in.
public comment process.
Oh, 3-inch shrimp, everybody. 3-inch shrimp coming up. And the over-under, ladies and gentlemen, is 6. 6 on ums and uhs. Okay? 6.
Mr. J. Leon.
Is the, oh, what is he talking about?
Thank you much, Mr. President. Colleagues, today I rise in support of file item number 9, which is a motion to accept the generous donation of $1.5 million for a brand new soccer field at the new park currently being
So we stopped public
constructed
comment
under the
for
6th
that.
Street Bridge. This contribution is thanks to the generosity of the TM23 Foundation, founded by Nikki and Doug Mark, after their son Tommy's tragic passing just shy of his 13th birthday. Tommy Mark was an avid soccer player who played for the LA's Galaxy's Youth Academy, as well as Los Angeles Football Club, LAFC, Youth Soccer Academy. By all accounts, Tommy was warm, he was very happy, and generous kid who loved his friends. He loved his family, he loved music, reading, and of course, he loved football, soccer. Determined to honor their son's legacy by preserving and sharing the same spirit of which Tommy lived his life, Nikki and Doug, her husband, created the TM23 Foundation so that kids all across Los Angeles could experience the joy and the community that Tommy felt while playing football.
It's really odd that they stopped the public comment for this.
Here by Tommy's mother, Nikki Mark, so that both I and the rest of the council, along with our council president, Mr. Marquise Harris Dawson, can properly express our sincere gratitude for you and Doug's generosity. Nikki, thanks to you and Doug and Tommy, generations of young Angelinos will be able to experience all of the benefits that participating in team sports brings, like building confidence, learning, leadership skills, and the importance of teamwork, supporting their mental health support, and improving their physical fitness. This is especially important for a community like Boyle Heights, where the park will be. We're in current construction of this park. There'll be 12 acres, 2 soccer fields, 1 multi-purpose field. We're going to have a skate park.
That's why, because they're giving all this stuff. That's why they stopped it.
A basketball court.
So that way these people don't have to hit Mr. Herman and people like him to get them out of there. Now I understand. It's time for
This is going to be possible because of you, and we're going to name one of our soccer fields the Tommy Marks Field because of your generosity. So, Nikki, I want to say, on behalf of the Boyle Heights community, the 14th Council District, and all of my colleagues
Thank
here
you,
today,
Sam. Appreciate
I want to
you.
thank you for sharing Tommy's legacy and our city for your commitment to giving kids across Los Angeles access to high-quality athletic facilities. Mr. President, I'm sorry. We have such very rude guests here today. We're discussing this right here. Yes, yeah. very rude and very disrespectful.
Look, if
Spicy today.
Mr. City Attorney.
What's up, King
Yes,
of
so
Sierra?
If I could have, so the gentleman in the vest who's pointing, and the black cap with the red mark on it, this is your
That's
first and
King
only
White.
warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting, or else you will be subject to removal.
Mr. White, you're disrupting the meeting. That's your second warning. Look,
Mr. President, I respectfully ask
Mr.
for an aye vote. I respectfully
thank
ask for an
you.
aye vote. Thank
The
you.
Talking about him,
motion
the
is passed,
racist.
and thank you for your gift to the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you. We're going to get you out of here now so you don't have to endure all this.
Before
you
the
know
next
he's
speaker
hot right now.
begins, I
He's
will
pissed.
call more names.
He's mad.
Yesenia Villar, TJ, Susie Shannon, Rodolfo Gomez, R. James Thomas, Raul Vasconez, Ramiro Lecu, Pete White, Nicole McEloise, Mickey Jackson.
No my cock?
Okay. Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
Good morning, homie. Number 17. To support the LAPD? Yes, absolutely. I support every single agenda that support LAPD department. We need additional police services in the
Sorry about that.
District 12. I don't know whose district is that, but I know right now there's a criminal looting, criminal rioting, criminal robbery, criminal rapist, a criminal interruption on all areas, everywhere in the city of LA. So we need definitely support whatever council member who are supporting additional police services. This agenda talking about Topanga division, and then I am familiar with that division, and then in that division, they are a huge staffing shortage of LAPD officers. Those LAPD patrol officers, they are working 60 hours, 70 hours every week. They do not have a chance to enjoy with their family. That's not okay. I am here to support the LAPD Topanga division and the LAPD all division. Good morning, homie. Number 18, regarding additional homeless services for Watts. I'm here to support additional homeless services. As a member of the homelessness, I never receive any services from my council member District 1. If any council member wants to support additional homeless services, I am the #1 supporter. I'll be the #1 cheerleader. The only issue is that everyone talking about additional homeless services in real life, no action. I'm still seeing a lot of violent removal of homelessness. I'm still seeing homeless people does not have a food, does not have water. Sometimes even myself, I have to call Council Hernandez. Where can I get more food? Where can I get more water? So I definitely believe that we only talking about homeless. We never do much about homeless.
It's true. 3-inch shrimp's right.
Number 22. Good morning, my homie. Number 22 is about speeding bump and the speed table in the council district 2. I actually voiced my concern numerous times in this council that there are so many street takeover. Yesterday, there's a Dodger victory, and then there's several Dodger fans did a street takeover. So we need more speed bump. We need more speed tables across all districts of the city of LA. And then right now, what I'm seeing without a speed bump, without speed hump, right now, even some in certain intersection with speed bump, there are still so many street takeover. Drivers doing donut. Driving are taking over the street. So innocent people cannot use the intersection, cannot drive home peacefully and safely. General public comment.
Lovely.
I am here to support Israel. I am here to support my Jewish brothers, Jewish sisters, my Jewish family in the city of Israel, country of Israel. You do not get a ceasefire after you invade our country. You will never get a ceasefire. You are still holding us hostages. You will never have a ceasefire when you continue to attack our country. I am here to
Okay,
support
can you
Israel.
pause this time?
Mr. City Attorney, if we're going to have...
There will be no more
I'm sorry,
ceasefire.
Speaker, you're going to wait. Mr. City Attorney, I just want us to advise the folks in the gallery that if we can't conduct this meeting, we will clear the chambers and we will carry on with the council's business going forward.
Yes, so again, I understand that people are talking about things that may be very offensive to other folks, but during their public comment, we need to allow them to speak. So again, it does not reflect the views of this council. It does not reflect the view, if you continue to interrupt their public comment, then you yourself may be subject to a warning and potentially.
Don't worry, they're about to give up. They're waving the white flag. It'll be over soon enough.
There will be no ceasefire until you release Israeli hostages. There will be no ceasefire until you surrender. There will be no ceasefire until all of our Israeli brothers, Israeli sisters, Jewish brothers, Jewish sisters return their home in Israel safely, safe and sound. There will be no ceasefire until all of the Israeli in Los Angeles can worship, can go to work, can go to school safely without harm. There will be no more ceasefire until you surrender.
Speaker, your time has expired.
I love it. They ain't gonna fuck with him either because he's a big ass dude. 3-inch shrimp. Shout out to 3-inch.
Please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, Henry Marini. It is 3 items, so I believe that's a total of 3 minutes, as well as general public
Back
comment.
up off the mic.
16, 17, 18. Let me know when I'm ready to start on agenda items.
Go ahead, you
and
have
then
3 minutes
public
for the items and 1 minute for general.
Bro, back off the mic.
So, I've come here a very long way from the great state of New York, and item 16 is trying to use council time on whether a Hollywood actor needs to have their name instated on Hollywood Boulevard. Well, if you're going to waste council time on whether a Hollywood actor's name is going to go on Hollywood Boulevard, how about addressing the fact that a Chomo actor by the name of Tom Cruise is still on Hollywood Boulevard? I'm here to protest Scientology, and you best believe that if this council wants to waste its precious time concerning whether a Hollywood actor needs to be on the Hollywood Boulevard or not, how about addressing the fact that a Chomo simp like Tom Cruise is still on there, who is very affiliated with Scientology? And I'm at this point speaking more or less directly to you, Mr. City Attorney. If your office is out there wasting precious government time on whether a Chomo cult is able to have members of its affiliation have its name on there, that's absolutely disgusting. For 17, item number 17, if the LAPD is still requesting more time, yet when it comes to issuing a arrest warrant for a child sex predator who's a Scientologist by the name of Anthony D'Amato Jr., and they're dragging their fucking feet on it, yet I can find out where this guy is located and do your damn job by communicating with Electronic Arts. This guy is streaming on Apex Legends. We have his fucking address, yet your office is out there not issuing an arrest warrant, and the LAPD apparently can't be bothered to do their fucking job and also arrest this guy. He's not the only child sex predator, so why is it that more funding for the LAPD continues to not be used for arresting the real predators out there, the real dangers to the community, child sex predators? And now for general public comment. You dropped Surge's charges, you're going to drop my charges, and you know it's bullshit. Vandalism, are you fucking kidding me? I was out there cleaning the fucking public easement, and everybody and their mother agrees with me. I talked to 4 different officers on 3 different occasions that night, City Attorney. Look me in the fucking eye when I talk to you. I came here from all the way to the great state of New York to hunt down the child sex predators that apparently your own city cannot do and your office of law enforcement cannot be bothered to fucking do. What are you doing with your time, man? This is your legacy. If it needs to be, I will come there and protest your house for you being a Chomo protector. The world fucking knows what you guys are doing. We have the emails. We even have video footage where they're using children to massage adults using baby oil at the fucking Scientology locations. This isn't a fucking joke. Do your job. The world is watching.
Man, between the Scientologists and P. Diddy, Johnson & Johnson's
Just
winning.
as an FYI, before we move on to the next speaker, to the extent that you have concerns about felonious conduct, you may want to, or anybody who has complaints about that, may want to reach out to the DA's office, as the city attorney's office does not have the authority to prosecute felonies.
Your discretion is advised.
Actually right about that.
Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
That's right, yes. And on this wonderful day to celebrate Kevin De Leon, let's give him a hand. Fuck yeah. And let's look at the good work that he's doing in number 21. 4 properties. Look at this. For what? Affordable housing. How come you can't do this, Unisys? How come Kevin can do it? Well, because Kevin gives a fuck. That's right, he does. Now we have speed bumps in CD2. The Paul Martin Krikorian speed bumps. He is a speed bump. A fucking nobody speed bump. How fitting to put fucking speed bumps in a speed bump asshole district. And then we have a formal complaint with the CPUC filed by Kevin. Kevin's going after these cocksuckers from the Union Pacific Railroad blocking. Oh, jeez Christ. Holy shit. That's right. That's right. He's turned informant. He's down in El Sereno, turning them in.
So, Mr.
Sending
Spindler,
them
if
to
you
the
were
police
listening earlier, this
department.
item has been continued. So please move on to another item.
No, you're not going to hit. I have to. Ew! I told you not to do that. Ew! Let's get fucking down. I told you to look at that. I'm busy. Number 24, is that open? Holy shit, that hurt my nose. Ew. So now we have Prop 33, the Justice for Asshole Winter Act. To give the design policies to ensure landlords a reasonable return? Wait a minute. Authored by whom? Communist Soto Martinez Stalin and Nithya Raman Noodle? How can you do that? How can you be in favor of the private sector? You're violating your oath of communism. Let's give them a boo. Boo. That's right. I move to amend that we need to confiscate all of the rental properties from the landlords and give the fucking rent free to all of the Angelinos who vote for Kevin De Leon. Let's do that. That's right. That's right. That's what we're going to do. And Unisys agrees with me, don't you? Yes, you do.
Speaker, you've exhausted your time on that item.
Oh, okay. You're not going to hit me? Why would I ever do that? Oh, number 25, the Ghetto District. Marquise Sleazy wants an MLK junior school to close the pedestrian tunnel where they sell all the drugs to the kids? Let's give them a hand. Holy shit. Now you just put out a third of the drug dealers in your district, asshole.
General public comment?
Yes. And as today, Goat Puppet is formally endorsing Kevin De Leon for re-election. Let's give him a hand. Well done. That's right. After listening to his opponent ripping the fucking LAPD apart, I realize that's my job. I'm the one that criticizes LAPD, not the city council members. The city council members' job is to lick the boots of all the police, to suck the cocks of all of the police. That's the job over here in the horseshoe. My job is to be the critic. So I don't want anybody here on the council standing up to the cops. You got it, Unisys? You got it, Stalin? Over there, you got it? See, because when there's a problem and a woman is raped, they have no choice but to call 911 and be on hold for 35 minutes. So after the rape is completed, they can do this. Finally, fuck the police. That's my role.
There he goes, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
I already told you, Marquise. What does it
Here
say?
we go.
On your
Under
screen?
over 6.
So, as I've told you before, I
I'm
do
asking
not have the
Marquise.
screen. So,
Under
which
over
items would you
6.
like to speak to? I'm going to
Under
give you
over.
1 minute for general. Which items?
14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 24, 25, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
All right, so we're starting off with item 14. Item 14 and 15 are Marquise Harris Dawson appointments to the Charter Reform Commission. To make sure that people nominated to the Charter Reform Commission are ones who will actually reform the charter for the better instead of the worse. I see one of these came from like Weezar's office. That's kind of weird. But yeah, you have like, Weezar staffers on the Charter Commission. So that's kind of interesting. Let's move on to item 16. Item 16 is Walk of Fame star. Maybe before you put the Walk of Fame star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, you should repair the sidewalks so people don't trip, fall, and sue the city, increasing the deficit with all those liability payouts. So you could fix the sidewalk on the Walk of Fame so it's safe for people to walk on. Then you can put the Hollywood Walk of Fame star on there. We have item 17. Item 17 is police funding in CD12 from City Staffer B. No on police funding in any council district. The LAPD doesn't need more money, it needs less money. The LAPD is the #1 reason we're in a deficit right now, because the LAPD gets so much money for those that contract, and the LAPD doesn't need more money. It should defund and abolish the police. Now we have item 17. Item 17 is... that was 6. That was 17. Okay, so item 18, I think. 18 is funding for services for unhoused people. Hopefully this is stuff that will actually get people housed and not just, more sweeps and such. We have item 19, a motion from the racist Kevin De Leon. That's 19. That's also 19. 21, Nithya. Why are you seconding motions from Kevin De Leon? I don't know where Nithya is. I don't even see her. But yeah, you saw Kevin be racist earlier today in the meeting, so you know he's still racist. Why are you seconding his motions? So no on anything introduced by Kevin De Leon. 24 is Prop 33. I think that was okay. It's like more. All right, let's move on to general public comment. Marquise, why do you keep lowering my hand every time I call in to get public comment? I've called into like every meeting for the last 2 weeks, and I haven't been able to speak once. I call in, I find you've lowered my hand, or at least my hand is for some reason lowered. Why I'm not lowering it. I raise it, I don't lower it, but I find my hand lowered because clearly you don't want me to speak or something. True. Why do you keep lowering my hand? Or why is it being lowered like that? So Kevin decided to be racist during today's meeting, making comments about how people protesting him are rude or something. You know who was rude? The one who was making racist comments on the Fed tapes. The one who keeps assaulting people, verbally threatening us in the council chamber. Kevin is the racist one. You need to resign.
All right, 9. Over wins. Dr. D coming up.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak to?
I'll just do public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
A group of us are here, and I'm with them to come before you to say, no more spending on the police. You wonder why you're being sued?
Right, Terry?
And paying out so much in lawsuits? A lot of it is going to families of people killed by the police. LAPD is murderous. We know that. Crime is down. We should be defunding the police completely instead of giving them every single penny that they want and even more on various side deals that the city does with them.
Go to sleep, crazy
This is a
lady.
shameful city council who thinks that this city is going to survive supporting this police department. It will not survive because this is a deadly city with a deadly police department. This has to stop, and it has to
Speaker,
stop
your time has expired.
now.
So you're mad at the very few officer-involved shootings where somebody dies, but you're not mad at gang members and everybody else who shoot each other all the time, every day, and kill each other. Got it. It's 10x that number.
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Jim McDonald represents Karen Bass's lack of interest even in paying liberal lip service to diversity and inclusion. Her election of yet another ancient white man to the highest throne of power in the city is further proof that LAPD is a patriarchal white supremacist institution to its core. Her decision is an appeal to far-right Confederate flag conservatives who wish that McDonald had murdered even more black and brown folks during his infamous stints in Long Beach and as sheriff. This choice is dangerous, but it is also idiotic because we will get rid of McDonald even faster than we got rid of Charlie Beck and Michael Moore. There has never been more support for abolition in LA than there is right now. Even white women like Michelle and myself know that we are not served and are certainly not protected by police, and that no one could be elected to this position that would actually serve the people's interests. And all I have to say to LAPD, LASD, LAPC, and their supporters is that you better find another line of work before your
Speaker, your time has expired.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
Speaker begins, I will call more names.
Smoke.
Actually, it might be around 4.
Catherine Walker.
Round 4.
Baba Akili. Karen
These people get angry.
Flanagan,
They don't understand how mics
Celia
work.
Lopez. Eduardo Martinez. Etta Hindra. Francisco Salcido. Jennifer Clark.
I remember this guy. You don't like them. I'm
Okay,
pretty sure.
so before the next speaker begins, I'm just gonna, just as an FYI, for anyone who's giving public comment,
Mr. Mom.
we can hear you. Please do not yell into the microphone, especially if you're really close like this. The interpreters are interpreting into Spanish in real time, and they're wearing headphones. So it also actually is easier to hear you if you're a little bit further from the mic.
Right.
Good
Because
morning.
mics amplify your
Which
voice.
item would you like to speak
So
to?
you don't have to yell into it.
Item 17.
We're not
and
talking
then all
about the brightest
Kevin
bulbs
items.
here. Grote.
So I'm going to give you 3 minutes for the items, and then we'll go.
And you
if you
can't
could
comment on
identify them
23.
one by one.
Correct?
So, and you have 1 minute for general.
I'm asking you can't comment on 23?
23 has been continued, so it is not open for public comment.
Okay.
So you have 3 minutes for the other items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
All right, so today is 022, a day of action against the police state against police brutality and repression. It's also the day that this council will gift $50,000 to the LAPD overtime account that is already allocated at least $225 million a year. This happens as our budget is in crisis due to a budget deficit. Yes, Papa.
Yeah.
Caused by giving
Tell him,
historic amounts
kid.
of money to the LAPD. That's the something going on that Krikorian was referring to earlier. He didn't want to name it. Now, arrests in Skid Row in July of 2024 were over 20 times the number they were in July 2023, and over half of those arrested were black. LAPD is overseen by Errol Southers, the founder of a Santa Monica POW program that led to the molestation of over 200 children. LAPD has stolen the lives of Melly Corrado, Takar Smith, Valentino Oriana Peralta, and unfortunately the list goes on. LAPD has targeted Melina Abdullah by swatting her house. LAPD has arrested and beat many of us here in the audience today, and LAPD was caught tailing my partner, the beautiful mother of this child. We're ending here in May. Again, this is all the money that you sent to police. This is what they're doing with it, okay? Now, fuck the police. Some say that this phrase is a disqualifier for public office, but apparently being racist means you're qualified for public office. Dehumanizing a black boy means you're qualified for public office. Plotting to disenfranchise black people means you're qualified for public office, but saying fuck the police, wow, that's far enough. Now, we read about the LAPD disciplinary reports where pigs who the department finds guilty of things like inappropriately handcuffing a person, detaining a person without cause, illegally conducting a search after consent was withdrawn, failing to report misconduct to a department supervisor, approving overtime reports for hours of work not performed for subordinates, all without consequence, and all from patrol, what this money is going towards. And all you want to do is fund their violence, their harm, their corruption, because you are the gatekeeper to that. You unleash these pigs in our communities every chance you get. I'm going to public comment now.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
So Kevin De Leon, this might be the last time I see you before you take that L in November. I want to remind people that you are a predator. You are suing me for stalking while parading around your diehard supporter Najee Ali, a man who has stalked numerous black women. How do we know that? Look no further than the numerous restraining orders granted against him. See, we deal with facts, like how you have your campaign literally following around Isabel Jurado's 15-year-old daughter. 15 years old, and your campaign staff is following her around. All right? You target children. That's what you like to do. Your canvassers are threatening people, putting out box cutters, following Isabel supporters to their cars after debates. Kevin, you always talk about single mothers working, especially your mother who worked her fingers to the bone, all while demonizing a single mother that beat you in the primary and will beat you come November 5th. And again, you want to say that she was racist against Latino men? We don't forget, you're the racist one, Kevin. You're the racist one. You're the one that's used the media to wage your anti-black campaign against people like me,
Speaker,
against organizations like BLMLA and LA Can, against organizers like General
Reedy,
Doban.
your time has expired. Mr. Reedy, you have already been warned, so please vacate the podium or you'll be subject to removal. Mr. President, Mr. Reedy is eligible for removal as he was warned earlier in this meeting. We have asked him to please vacate the podium and he is still disrupting this meeting.
Please remove Mr. Reedy.
Look at his face. Look at his face.
You're excused from the meeting, Mr. Reedy. You're excused from the meeting, Mr. Reedy.
Mr. Reedy, we cannot continue this meeting until you exit the room quietly.
Spicy in there. Spicy.
Okay, next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
McDowell?
General public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
The McDowells?
Actually, hold on. Before we start our time, and actually, can you restart our time? We just need to wait for the room to quiet down so we can hear you. We'll restart your time. So, Sergeants, I believe I hear Camille Lewis as well. Can you please confirm that? Ms. Lewis, you have been warned already, actually multiple times. So, again, please do not disrupt this meeting or it will be subject to removal pursuant to Rule 7 and Rule 12. Okay, so let's try this again. Go ahead. You have 1 minute for general public comment.
I am speaking on general comment. First of all, my name is Catherine Walker. I'm speaking on the McDowell that you got, the guy that you guys are trying to appoint for the new police chief. Okay, I've stood before Police Chief Moore. First, I wanted to introduce. This is my son, Grishario Mack. This is my son, Grishario Mack. He was killed by LAPD in 2018. I'm here as a mother crying for the justice of my son. Yes, you guys may say, oh, I'm gonna pay this mother because we took their son's life. But guess what? No amount of money can pay for the life of my son. And you guys are appointing these guys into your office that say that they can't do anything about these police officers that's killing our children. I pray that God places the right man upon the
Speaker, I
podium and
apologize.
upon these
Your
benches
time has expired.
to
If
give us justice. I'm a grieving mother. My son's birthday
I
is
understand, I
he was
apologize,
killed.
but we have to give the same amount of time to everyone. So,
What a zoo.
We can't do that, okay.
so, Speaker, we have to
The
give
time
the
is,
same
the
amount
time
of time
is
to
expired.
everybody.
Her time is expired. The time is expired. We're going to ask you to leave the podium. Thank you so much.
Okay. So everybody who's yelling out, this is your only warning. Please do not disrupt this meeting. Sergeants, I can identify the gentleman who's about maybe
What are they saying?
8 rows back in the hat with the beard was yelling out, disrupting this meeting. I see
I know stand
the,
up, fight back, but what was the first part?
the woman in the white blouse. Again, please do not disrupt this meeting. We have to give everybody the same amount of time during public comment. If you would like, you are also welcome to submit written public comments to the clerk's office as well. And to the extent you have materials that you would like to share with this council, you can give them to the sergeants and they will make sure that they are circulated. Thank you. I'm sorry, the next speaker, please.
What are you doing, fatter peep? I don't know what he's doing. Come on. Come on. Ah, dang it. Come on.
Mr. Spindler, please do not disrupt this meeting. Okay, next speaker, please.
I want to say it was the rainbow guy following Mr. Spindler. The guy in the rainbow shirt following Mr.
Good morning.
Spindler. And you
If
just
could
heard him
please
say, get
remind
the
us of
fuck
name
away.
you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yeah, that's
TJ,
what it
general
is.
comment.
Okay, so you have
This
1 minute.
dude
Go
right
ahead.
here is bothering Mr.
Firstly,
Spindler.
Stop Cop City, Stop Cop Nation. Secondly,
Come on,
LAPD has a
already. What are you
proven and
doing?
undeniable history of violence, black, brown, and indigenous communities. LAPD has a 155-year legacy of brutality from Rodney King to Ezell Ford and Keenan Anderson. We overwhelmingly reject Jim McDonald's potential appointment as LAPD chief. His failed leadership at the corrupt Los Angeles Sheriff's Department has allowed nurtured and grown racist deputy gangs. They flourished under his failed leadership, and the increased violence and death under his department cannot be ignored or overlooked. Reject McDonald's appointment. Also, again, Stop Cop Nation. We demand that LA City Council pass a moratorium on funding or any support of any Cop City projects. Secondly, and again, Stop Cop City.
Some hair now.
Next speaker.
Thank you, Stinks. Got hair all over this thing.
Good morning. If you could please remind us
back
of the
Daryl
name you
Gates.
signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Jackson, speaking general public comment, addressing Proposition 33.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item if you'd like on Prop 33, 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Thank you. The rent is just too damn high. And we see the proof on our streets every day. The rent is just too damn high. Vote yes on Prop 33. Allow
Time for?
yourselves,
Round
the city,
5.
and all of us
Smoke.
to be able to control rents, to be able to keep people in their homes. Yes on Prop 33.
Yeah. When they booked you was crying like a pussy.
Next
Yeah.
speaker, and if we can have the speakers be ready so that we can move a little bit more quickly. I
It's
know
not
there's
work-
a lot of
oh.
people who would like to speak. Good morning.
I go next. Good
We
morning.
can hear you.
Audit LA,
And I want to talk on 15, 16, 17, and maybe more. So that.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Okay, the first one is 15. I'm going to ask that you make sure that the person being approved for the Charter Reform Commission is a high-level Scientologist, because Scientology has the real power in this city. Okay, because I've come to every single department meeting, everything, to get non-ADA approved planters removed, and none of y'all can do it. Mr. Martinez, Soto Martinez, are you here? Not listening? None of you are listening, I know. But he can't even get it done. So make sure you get a Scientologist on here, because they have the real power in this city.
What are you doing? Why you gotta be on there? What are you doing?
Number 16.
Stop, Stinks.
Kerry Washington. Sadly, I don't know who Kerry Washington is, but that's a Hollywood thing. You know, like that whole Hollywood Walk of Fame thing. Why is City Council dealing with that when we have real issues?
What are you doing?
You know, we have issues like what's going on here in this room, all these issues, housing issues, police issues, pothole issues, non-ADA compliance of an entire city. Let's add the cult of Scientology to that mix. So why are we worried? Why are you guys bothering with these stars? I would like to know what Smoke and Scan thinks about you guys having to work on that. I'm curious. 17.
There's one.
Okay, definitely. LAPD.
Shout out to Audit LA.
And I'm not somebody that hates all cops. I don't. I mean, DeWardy's pretty cool, and these guys here are pretty cool. I don't hate all cops, but I hate bad cops, and I hate bad policing and bad police ideas.
Come on.
I also hate that they get half the city budget.
What about smoking loud?
And
That's not me. That's
like nothing gets resolved. I mean,
on the machine.
you guys. You know, I get the overtime because, you know, like certain
he's pushing it,
protesters
not
are
me.
being swatted all the time, and so that might create a lot of overtime. But what I would suggest to help fill if you need more money for the overtime, is to fine Scientology for all the swatting calls. Okay, so far we have figured out it's probably close to $250,000 of city resources being wasted against protesters of Scientology. Okay, that's a lot of money. That's a lot more than 50,000. Why don't you go after the people who are making
Speaker,
swatting
you've
calls? I'm
exhausted
on
your minute
topic because I'm
this item.
saying.
I know, but you've exhausted your minute on this item, so please move on to another item.
Sorry.
You have exhausted your 1 minute on this item, so please move on to another item.
Okay. Well, then let's get that one for housing. Let's get more housing for the people that need it. Thank you.
General public comment?
Yes, for public comment. I've been coming to City Hall, whether online or in person, now since June. Okay, with a simple ask. This is a simple one, an easy one. And again, the only one who pays attention here is Mr. McCosker. He's the only one. And, you know, I appreciate that, Mr. McCosker. But I want the planters at L. Ron Hubbard Way and Fountain to be permitted. Like, you go after everyone else when they don't permit their, things, and you find them when they don't listen. And I want them ADA compliant. They are not. There's a 3-4 block radius now that I cannot get on or off any vehicle that needs a ramp because you guys won't do your job. Mr. Martinez's office is always saying, he did say, thankfully, yeah, they're working on it. But it seems like nobody knows who does what. Like, is it Breyer Street Services? Who does what? Can you just remove or make ADA compliant these planters? I know it's a minor issue for everyone else, but not for me.
Your time
Thank
has
you.
expired. Next speaker. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Just general public comment.
What he's
Thank
doing
you.
right
So you
now.
have 1 minute.
Trying to get.
Good morning, council members. I'm Susie Shannon, and I'm asking you respectfully to vote yes on Proposition 33 to endorse that proposition today. The average cost of a two-bedroom apartment in Los Angeles is now $3,742 a month, which is way too expensive for most of our constituents here in Los Angeles. So I'm asking you to join the California Democratic Party, the LA County Democratic Party, the County of Los Angeles, tenant groups like ACE and Housing Now and Tenants Together and Coalition for Economic Survival, the California Alliance for Retired Americans, Veterans Voices, and labor unions in support of Proposition 33. Thank you.
Oh, Stinks is too much.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Makes me laugh.
Hello, my name is Demetria Nash, and my son, Christopher Okamoto, was killed by law enforcement. This has devastated our family. I'm still fighting. It's been 6 years that I have gotten justice. I have been taking this back and forth to court for years, and we still have not got justice yet. I'm a mother of 7, and I still long for my son, Christopher Okamoto, and I just want law enforcement to step up and just stop the violence, because it's killing not just my children, you know, everyone else's that's around here, and we just need for police brutality to stop. You know, I'm grieving still. As you guys can see, I'm shaking. It's been 6 long years, and I'm still fighting. I have here my grandson that Christopher never got a chance to meet, and we're going to continue fighting. We just want you guys to stop the violence and increase the peace.
Look at Spindler and Herman over there, causing havoc.
Okamoto, say his name. Christopher Okamoto.
Oh, I heard Camille Lewis, who has been warned multiple times, Council President, if you would like, she is also subject to removal at this point. I can see the gentleman in the cap in the very back who's standing up has also been disrupting this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. Again, please do not disrupt other people's public comment. Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to. All right, the woman who's standing next to, I believe she is just maybe a row or two behind Mr. Spindler and has her hair in 2 buns and is wearing a white mask. This is your first and only formal warning.
She's wearing a mask.
Please do not disrupt this.
Another
and
crazy
she's flipping
Democrat.
me off now, so it is that individual. Please do not disrupt this meeting. All right, go ahead. Which items would you like to speak to?
Full
Public
display.
comment. My name's Keely, and I want to connect to the last speaker. Today is October 22nd, National Day to Stop Police Brutality. And what the last speaker talked about was police brutality. And we are calling for an end to police brutality and an end to stop cop nations, because we are creating a militarized police force. And so we are here today to speak out first against police brutality, second against cop cities, and then finally, we are here to speak out and oppose the appointment of Jim McDonnell as police chief. He has failed every place he has been. And if you want a failed police chief, you got it with Jim McDonnell, and we oppose him. Thank you.
Shout out to Jim McDonald's and fries.
Excuse me, bitch. I love it.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Sabrina Laseg, general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute.
Good afternoon. My name is Sabrina Laseg, and I'm a child rights advocate. Child marriage is internationally recognized as a human rights violation, and yet it's happening here in Los Angeles. I want to share Janet's story today.
Who's
At
doing the
14 years old,
trafficking,
Janet
ma'am?
was sold into marriage by her mother to a 21-year-old man. Janet lived here in the Golden State. According to UNICEF USA and Unchained at Last, nearly 300,000 women and girls, some as young as 10, were married as child brides between 2000 and 2018. In California, sex with a minor is a crime, but if the perpetrator marries the child beforehand, they evade accountability. As someone who was raped at 15 years old, I understand the lasting impacts of what comes with those violations and compromised youth. I stand for the rights of all children to live free from violence and exploitation, and I urge you to think of Janet and the thousands of girls like her. by supporting this cause and helping convince California's elected officials to stand forward and help pass AB
So, Miss Angelique, how are you?
2924. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Next speaker. Just come on, man. What are you doing? You back
Before
and
the next
forth
speaker
and forth
begins,
and
I will
back.
call
Buenos días a todos. Lo que yo vengo es a protestar para que bajen la
Hold on
renta,
just a minute,
porque la
please.
renta está muy cara.
Espérate.
Un momento,
En
por favor.
California,
Which
Permítame un
items would
momento.
you like to
mucho la
speak to?
renta, pues,
Permítame un momento.
Ajá,
¿De qué puntos, de qué temas quiere hablar?
de la renta, porque está
About
muy alta
rent,
la renta.
because it's too high, the rent.
Ajá, muy high. Por eso vengo a protestar.
Muy high, I like it. That's
La
my
renta
kind of
está muy
Spanish.
alta.
Muy
The
high.
rent is very high.
Ajá.
Continúe.
Que bajen la renta, por favor, para que no muchas personas están en la calle, por eso.
Please reduce the
¿Qué
rent
vamos
because
a
many
hacer si
people are on
no
the
bajan la
streets.
renta?
What are we
Más
doing?
sube la
Hold
renta.
this- so, sir, your time is paused. Can I get the interpreter to please interpret what I'm about to say aloud? So, anybody who would like
Cualquier
to use
persona.
a Spanish language interpreter,
Cualquier persona que quiera usar los servicios de interpretación,
please
It always is,
pause
Tam Tam.
every
That's why
few
we love it.
sentences so
It's
the
a train
interpreter
wreck
can do
every
their
time.
job.
por favor pause en cada oración para que el intérprete pueda hacer su trabajo.
All right,
Ah,
everybody.
nada más
We will
necesito
pause your time so
la
you get the
renta
same amount of time as everyone else.
Vamos a pausar su tiempo de tal manera que usted obtenga el mismo tiempo con la interpretación.
Go ahead, sir.
Adelante,
Ajá.
señor.
Porque en California la renta está muy alta, está muy cara la renta. Necesito que el gobernador, el
Alto,
alcalde
stop,
haga pues,
Randy.
para que baje la renta.
En
Mi
California-
posición es la 33 solamente y gracias.
In California, the rent is too high. I need the governor and the mayor to help us and support number 33.
Okay, thank you.
That ought to do her. Meanwhile, you could have went to work and got $100
Buenos
more
días.
towards the rent.
Mi nombre es Ramiro Luque
Instead, you
y
gave
estoy
me
aquí para pedirles
Para, ¿qué temas quiere hablar?
que apoyen a la Proposición 33 porque la renta sigue muy alta.
I'm here to support Proposition 33 because the rent is too high. Thank you.
Good morning.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Raúl Vázquez.
My name is Raúl Vázquez.
Estoy aquí con el único propósito de apoyando la Proposición 33 porque la renta está demasiado alta y en estas próximas elecciones todos apoyemos a la 33 para que baje la renta y con el apoyo de todos podemos ganar. Gracias.
I'm here to support Proposition 33 because the rent is too high. In the next elections, everybody please support Proposition 33 so the rent goes lower.
I want to know how else you're voting, sir.
Good morning.
And I'll tell you whether or not
Buenos
you
días, mi
deserve
nombre es
what's
Raúl
happening
Piña
to you.
Ávila, y estoy aquí solicitándoles la ayuda para la proposición 33 y esa es la proposición 33, ya que las rentas son demasiado altas. Les pido a ustedes como autoridad que vean eso, ya es demasiado.
Just a minute. Go ahead.
I'm here. My name is Raúl Piña. I'm here to support Proposition 33 because the rent is too high, and I ask you as authorities to do something about it.
Well, that was mean.
Thank you.
Bit me for nothing. Go sit down there, meanie.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, my name is Nicole McElhose, and I am with
What? Nicole
local
McElhose?
AFSME 2626, speaking on behalf of public safety for the libraries.
You have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Yep, general comment.
Thanks to the transients, there is no safety there anymore.
Libraries are one of the few places in our society where all are welcome, regardless of socioeconomic status, regardless of mental health, regardless of addiction. I believe with all of my heart in this mission that libraries are for everyone. I also believe that everyone deserves to feel safe in the library, including staff. Times have changed. Libraries have changed. The support systems, training, and resources for the Los Angeles Public Library staff, they have not changed. Libraries are now community and service-centric. Personal safety is a real daily concern for the Los Angeles Public Library System employees. We are no longer equipped to do this work alone without safeguards in place. We need a comprehensive safety plan. Please take care of your city workers so that they can take care of your constituents. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you, Speaker.
ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Before the next speaker begins, I will call more names. Michael Williams, Melina Abdullah, Lori Condinas, Lisa Palombi, Justin Marks, Julian Alexander Macara.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Eduardo Martinez, and this is a public comment. I just want to let everybody know that we're here to let you know the rent is too damn high in California. Come November 5th, we have a Proposition 33. Will you please support 33 so we can get able to pay the rent and still live in California? Thank you.
That's it.
Good afternoon.
Muy buenos días a todos. Mi nombre es Felipe Delgado.
What's up,
Y
Felipe?
estoy aquí para invitar
¿Qué pasó?
para apoyar a la proposición 33 porque las rentas están demasiado altas. Hay muchísima gente viviendo en la calle.
Señor, un momento, por favor, para que le pueda traducir. Gracias. Hello, good evening, or good afternoon, council members. My name is Elito Delgado. I am here to ask for a yes vote on Proposition 33 because the rent is too high.
Entonces, el apoyo yo pienso que es muy importante en cuestión de las rentas porque están demasiado altas todavía. Muchísimas gracias. Con permiso.
Then I think your support would be very important for this proposition due to the fact that the rent is very high. Thank you so much.
I want one of the
Good
blue
afternoon.
shirts.
Could please remind us of the name you signed up
Buenos
under?
días, mi nombre es Celia López y estoy aquí para pedirles que nos apoyen en la proposición 33 por las
33.
altas rentas para que tengan un control.
Yes, hello, my name is Celita Lopez. I am asking for a yes vote on Proposition 33 because the rent is too high and we are struggling.
Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good morning. My name is Francisco Salcido. I'm here supporting the Provision 33 because the rent is too damn high. I have friends, families that are trying to move back to Texas because they can't afford rent here. And this is used to be the dream state. It's turning into a nightmare. Please support 33. Yes, I'm 33.
Turning into a nightmare. Who's running it, buddy? $10 says the guy you're voting for. Oh boy.
Buenos días.
I love
Mi
it.
nombre es Andrés Díaz y estoy aquí para que en California haya un
Useful
control de
idiots,
renta,
everybody.
ya que está demasiado alta. Necesitamos control de renta en California. Por favor, voten sí a la proposición 33, la cual yo estoy apoyando. Gracias.
I'll give you a T-shirt
Hello,
and
yes,
$20.
my name is Andres Diaz. I am asking California
I bet you they found him
to
outside.
vote yes on
Said, "Hey,
Proposition 33 so
$20
that we may
and a
have rent
T-shirt,
control
come on
because
down."
rent is too high. Thank you.
All you have to do is say rent is too high.
Good afternoon.
I wouldn't
Good
doubt
afternoon. My name is Michael Nakas. I'm here because the rent is still too damn high, and please vote yes on Proposition 33.
Their voter base, everybody.
Thank you.
I mean, that's their voter base. Can't even get the first line out. Notice the first line's always the same. This is their voter base.
Hi there. My name is Karen Flanagan. I'd like to speak
Hi,
on
Karen.
general public comment and item 20.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
So contrary to Council District 4 Homeless Services Representative Mr. Siggins' oral report to the Rec and Parks Commission on October 17th, there remain 6 tents at the Mulholland Fountain by the Bridge Home Shelter on Riverside Drive. This demonstrates the deplorable situation and the failure of the adjacent Bridge Home Shelter. This is not a situation that an ambassador program, which is basically defined as a warm body who can call first responders and gain rapport with shelter residents, not something they can manage. I've done this work for 2.5 years as a clinical therapist with over 20 years experience, and I doubt anyone from a well-meaning nonprofit such as the SELA organization, which Mrs. Rahman founded, will be able to handle these situations that arise daily and nightly. Fights break out, the list goes on and on. An untrained ambassador will be placed in harm's way, not a benefit to the shelter.
Okay, general public comment?
To continue, will be placed in harm's way, not a benefit to the shelter resident safety or that of the broader community. In his oral report, Mr. Siggins did not define the ambassador program that has already been instituted late and should not be forthcoming. It just basically places a person in a position to be harmed. It's also a conflict of interest for Mrs. Rahman, attempting to filter $79,000 to her organization through the city clerk. The community believes it's wise to have a written report before the Rec and Parks Commission, and after that report manifests, we would be able to consider the ambassador program. The community believes that this is just a Band-Aid to an already horrible situation, and we will be monitoring funding and effectiveness of the ambassador program if you do not withdraw her motion. It should not go forward.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
Noah Weiss, item 20, general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general.
Okay,
please
can I do
begin
general
with the
public comment first?
Please start with the item first. Go ahead.
So item 20. Item 20 is a motion that needs to be withdrawn by Ms. Rahman. You people are all knowledgeable on how these motions from her cash stash or your own individual cash stashes are supposed to be made and executed. Her motion does not have any direction relative to controller account number where this $79,822 is going to go. That's number one. Number two, she doesn't have the city controller even mentioned in the motion. You all have to read this. Seriously,
Thank you, Sam.
It is an embarrassment. What we're talking about is the city clerk doesn't do payments. The controller does the payments. There have to be control numbers. They aren't there. I don't know where the city attorney is. If the city attorney looked at this, he would never allow it. And frankly, you all should not allow it. It needs to be continued. It needs to be withdrawn.
Thank you, JC.
And we're talking about, in addition, it's a rescission motion. This is money that was spent in December 2023. And this goes to Mrs. Hernandez's point about what the heck is going on here. In 2023, that money was already spent. And so please,
Look at how
do
milky
not
that
vote
shit is.
yes on this
That's
motion.
milky.
Please persuade Ms. Rahman to withdraw it so that you are not further embarrassed. Now, on the public comment
Time
side,
for?
Ms. Hernandez is fantastic. She should be chief of the budget committee. She's of all of you people, and Mr. Blumenfeld's been chief of the budget committee, Mr. Krikorian, all these years. She's raising issues that should be raised by all of you. In terms of risk management, we've been talking about this for 20 years from the city attorney's office. You people who've been here longer, like Mr. Blumenfeld, you know this. This is an ongoing problem. City attorney needs a performance audit, and they need a financial audit. Now, in terms of risk management, let me just say this. We're talking about the Plains Rancho, 25 million gallons of butane. Mr. McCosker is aware of it. Mr. McCosker promised me and his constituents a joint hearing with public safety, Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Park. We need, Council President, that joint hearing. And I'm asking Mr. McCosker to follow through on his promise, have Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Park hold that joint hearing so that we can educate you all on this risk that is ever present. Thank you very much.
These fucking guys are all clapping extra right now.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items
Michael
you'd like
Williams,
to speak to.
general public comment. Also,
up,
am I
DS?
looking at this timer or this timer?
What's up,
'Cause they're
Hearts?
off.
So we're using the timer there, and then I also have a timer on my phone. But you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead.
Okay. A city council that allows a man who spouted racist things and tried to remove or weaken black voting power in the city of Los Angeles, but doesn't allow for mothers who came all their way took
right
time
here.
out of their day to come here and speak in front of you. A council that allows one but doesn't allow the other does not represent the people. A council that allows someone for 3 minutes to say racial slurs, but kicks out the person that tries to correct that, cannot represent the people. And we wonder why our systems, our world, our city looks the way it is. Because we have leaders like this. Because we have leaders that allow racism and prejudice, but kick out people who try to address it, who try to stop people from speaking, who try to address it. This is an indictment not only on this city council, but on the people that...
Your time has expired. Again, we cannot choose what we want to hear more than anyone else. So, Speaker, this is your only warning. Please vacate the podium.
Oh, they're muting the mic.
Next speaker.
Yeah, we still have phones to go. Jonathan.
Good afternoon. Which items would you like to speak
Melina Abdullah, all items.
to? So you have 3 minutes for the items, and I assume general public comment?
So I'm here today with my students. I brought students from my graduate class on intersectional blackness to come to a community event. This is supposed to be one of the most tame community events they can come to. And they're here to listen to the voices of the people and
Speaker,
watch them
I need you to speak
engage
to the
in the
items
process
first.
of
You're
civic
welcome
engagement.
to speak to this during general public comment.
They're here to watch you engage in the process of civic engagement. Instead, they were locked out. They were told that this
So
forum
as
was
discussed
full.
earlier, we have to give everyone the same amount of
Forum
time.
was
So I'm
full
going to
when
move you to general
half the
public
seats
comment.
were
You
empty.
you have a
They
minute
were
for general
told
public
that they watched as you quieted mothers of those who've been killed by police on this national day to stop police brutality. They've watched you as you haven't engaged. You've whispered on the side as a grieving mother showed you the ashes of her son. This is shameful. This is shameful. Marquise, I know you. I know you. I know the mayor. Have y'all forgotten who you are and who you're supposed to stand for? You know, we're tired of a misleadership class. We're tired of people like Kevin De Leon, who was once my student and then revealed who he is as an anti-black, anti-indigenous racist, as a hater of renters and poor people. We're tired of this misleadership class that continues to betray community, that continues to sick police on us, that continues to do the work of white supremacist capitalism. We're here to say that your days as a misleadership class
Speaker,
are
your
numbered.
time has expired. We need to move on to the other speakers.
$50 says you voting for Kamala.
Speaker,
I
this
know
is
you
your
got
only warning.
Kamala
We
already
need
checked
to
off.
Move on to the next
$50.
speaker. So I need you to vacate the
sit down,
podium,
man.
please, so
You'll
we
be-
can move on to the next
You'll
speaker.
be sitting down and having the same thing happen to you.
And
Sit
just
down, man.
as an FYI for everybody who is a regular attendee or anybody who this is their first time here. So I understand that people
Another
have a lot of
Kamala
opinions
Harris
and are very passionate
voter.
about things that are said or things that they would like to say. But just to be clear, the rules that require us to provide equal amount of time to everyone regardless of viewpoint are not things that are within the control of this council. So, and the Brown Act is state law that we have to comply
Love
with.
the Brown Act. It's my favorite.
So again, it is not something that this council has authority to change on its own. Good afternoon. If you could please remind us.
Intersexual blackness.
So, Camille Lewis, you have been warned multiple times and are subject to potential removal if the chair would like. I would also note that the gentleman in the
It looks like Bob's big boy
the
today.
hat in the back who's standing next to the kiosk has also been warned, as well as the gentleman in the hat with the beard in the very back as well.
Bro, if you gave him the suspenders,
anybody who
Bob's
is
a big
yelling
boy.
out is disrupting this meeting. We cannot continue with the next public speaker. Okay. So the gentleman in the bucket hat has been warned multiple times, Council
Gentleman
President.
with the bucket
Again,
head.
I do not know if the chair would like him removed or not. Good morning. Sorry. Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to. Okay. I need everybody to
That's
stop their
fucking
applause
Herman.
so we can continue
That's
with
Herman.
public comment. Camille Lewis, this is your 5th or 6th warning. I've lost count.
That's Herman.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Lisa Palombi. I'm here for general comment. I am the president of the Librarians Guild, AFSCME Local 2626. My fellow librarians are here today to bring to your attention some of the most dire issues facing our libraries. We grapple with verbal abuse, general and sexual harassment, drug abuse, violence, and intimidation, as well as unsanitary conditions. This daily threat to our physical safety while at work, serving our communities, has created an unsustainable level of mental trauma among our workers. Librarians turn to library administration and get offered mental health apps on their phone and trainings on self-care, but no amount of breathing techniques can prevent the next chair from being tossed at your head. Council members, we're asking you today to check in on your libraries in your districts, visit them, see what they are dealing with firsthand. Listen when the library workers say they need civil service security officers, unarmed, who care about the mission of the library. Listen when we say that contract security staff has led to inconsistent staffing
Speaker, your
levels
time
and
has
leave us
expired.
most vulnerable. Thank you for listening this morning.
Good afternoon. If you could please remind us of the name you signed up under and the items you'd like to speak to.
My name is Lori Candinas, and I'm speaking on general comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. City Council, I'm here today just to reiterate what you have heard from a couple of the librarians. There is a dire need for the city to do something. The workers are in danger. Their lives are in danger. We want something to be done before one of them gets killed. And I don't say that lightly, I say that seriously. So as my forever First Lady said, do something. Thank you.
Yeah, do something on November 5th, ma'am. Vote the same way. You expect everything you get,
All right,
and you
that
know what's
concludes
happening.
in-person public comment. We'll now go to public comment by telephone.
Oh, there's still more people in there. They're angry. See, they just pick how many they want. They muted it now. I didn't touch it.
Okay, and before we move on to virtual public comment, Council President, I believe
They don't
there
want
is a
the voices
motion
being
that
heard.
is still waiting to be introduced. So,
Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Speaker, in-person public comment has been closed. Again, as stated during the directions, we try to get to as many people as possible. As noted, we have had multiple disruptions throughout this meeting, including this one. So we have taken almost an hour and a half of public comment
Spicy.
in chambers.
Spicy.
So I need
These
everybody
two
who's
gentlemen on the
shouting
side
out-
are disrupting the meeting. You guys are excused from the meeting.
Okay.
Spicy. In
Everyone
comes the
who is still
LAPD.
shouting out, this is your only warning, or to the extent that you have been warned multiple times, you are subject to removal. That includes the two gentlemen who are standing on the left-hand side of council chambers. That includes Camille Lewis, who has received now 7 or 8 warnings. It includes essentially everybody who's standing up and chanting. This is your only warning.
Mr. City Attorney, we're going to put the council in recess and clear the chambers.
Oh, they're clearing the whole chamber. Then go into the phones, guys. Guys
Okay.
and girls, we still
Clearly-
got the phones. Remember, we still got the phones.
To members of the public, the council president has voiced his intention to potentially recess the meeting. If we cannot maintain order to continue with virtual public comment, then this council will go into recess until we can obtain order. Sergeants?
Unruly.
Okay, this is our last opportunity. Sergeants, I'm going to need help to get the room under control, or else the council president would like to go into recess.
Getting hot. Getting spicy, son.
Okay.
Yes. This council is now in recess.
Oh, he recessed it. Got to use his gavel today. Oh, son of a biscuit. Hold on, let me turn that music off. All right, there we go. All right, so they'll come back. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing. They are just clearing the room because these people are acting a fool, so to speak. And because they're doing that, they want to clear the chambers. So we still have all the phone calls. I'll be honest, guys. I don't think we're getting more than 3. I think we'll get 3 calls and then they'll cut it. Because they don't want to hear the public. So that's basically what's going on. What's going on? Elbow room? What? Go put that up now? I mean, I can. Hold on. Hold on, let's take off that. First off, I don't think there's too much going on there either. It's early. It's pretty early on a Tuesday. It's probably more popping at Venice Beach. Yeah, Venice is popping. There you go, live shot of Venice Beach. Beautiful. Look at that, 73 degrees. Couldn't be more comfortable. It's kind of clear today, too. Look at that. It's not overcast at all. Yankees in 5? Is that what you're saying, dude? All right. Yeah, I don't think it can go less than 6, I'll be honest. Either way, it's not going... Either way, somebody's winning at least 2. The loser's going to win at least 2. This is not going to be some steamroll series. And the Major League Baseball have some crazy balls and strikes go each way for each team. Make it go 7. Because then they win, right? And that's what they really want. Everybody's a winner at 7. I mean, everybody. The ripple effect's crazy. How many more hotel rooms are getting booked? How many more restaurants will be just that much more packed because the World Series is in town? Hookers will be there.
I got a boner. All right.
So everybody's making money. The ripple effect is crazy. You know what I mean? Even for folks like this right here. They're selling more fruit. They're selling more hot dogs. Daniel Gus. What about Daniel? Shout out to Daniel. DanielGus.substack.com. Online Journalist of the Year. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I like Daniel because he's a bright man and he rips into him every time. Nothing but fucking facts. But the sad part is they just don't give a fuck. I mean, you clearly saw it. They couldn't take it. Their feelings are hurt. But I guess also when they're trying to listen to the phone calls, which are a little harder because then people aren't in person, it's going to be harder because they're not going to stop yelling and booing and clapping. And you know what I mean? So just trying to look at it from both angles. Tourist trap right here? I mean, it is kind of, but I mean, there's, isn't it that way in any kind of town? Go to fucking Solvang. Go to any town in the United States. Go to fucking Sarasota. I'm sure they got some, blow me because I'm in Sarasota fucking shirts or something. Telling you. Kiss me because I'm in Kissimmee. Come on now. I mean, that's just marketing 101. Let's just be honest. That's how you do it. It's a nice day for all the graffiti artists and all that to be out there. Clear day. See what the skate park looks like. I bet you it's popping right now. Look at the fucking ship out there. Damn, that motherfucker's big. Old barge. All right, here we go. The skaters are lit right now. They're going. Let's go, bro. We used to skate here, but this never existed. Like we'd skate on the path there. Someone would bring down a little ramp or something. You know, you'd have a little fun right here on the path right here. Then you'd skate up to Santa Monica. So it was kind of fun. Santa Monica's had a couple skate shops. I mean, one's still there, Rip City. Rip City's the most famous. Shout out to Rip City. A lot of folks go to Rip City. Even Fred Siegel at that time. Skateboarding was so popular, even Fred Siegel's had a skate shop. And there's one in Venice for sure. Forget the one on Venice. So, at that time, skateboards were so popular, they're just little shops were popping up everywhere. What's up, Richard Serrano? How are you, buddy? Are you on? I'm sure you're on phone right now waiting. They cleared the chambers, as you know, I'm sure. So I'm still waiting for them to come back. They're still in recess. Just figured, I guess it's better to watch this than, you know, watch their little fucking never-ending billboard of baloney. It's a beautiful day at the beach, that's for sure. It's a real nice one. Go stay by the bay. Venice Beach Hotel. That's where I stay when I go by the bay. Stay by the bay. At Venice Hotel. Stay by the bay. Boy, oh boy. For a Tuesday, I'd say it's pretty good. You know, just afternoon on a Tuesday. I'd say it's a good amount of folks. Shit, yeah, we got a jogger. Look at that.
All right.
Let's get it. Is she? Okay. Yeah. Maybe they didn't make her get out. But everybody else. I mean, it's still on the screen here. I'm still live on it. That's what I'm watching on the other screen. And it is live. It is alive. See? It's live. So we'll see. It's been crazy today. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. They definitely came out in full force today. You know, and I think it's what it is now. Like, they might only be doing Tuesday, you know, the first Tuesday of the week. I don't think they're going to be doing the Wednesday and Friday anymore, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But we'll see. I mean, these folks take off so much time. It's amazing. They get anything done, and they really don't. Because you look at the city, it's the worst. Look at homeboy selling his CD right here, a scam. Trying to sell his CDs and shit. Shit's probably blank and shit. He's over there selling blank CDs for $10. All right, man, give me $5. It's some good shit. Here, listen to this is my shit right here. He's got it playing on a little speaker. Yeah, Dan, they do it all the time. This is nothing new. It's not like a shocker. I'm not shocked at all. They do it every day almost. Not almost. I'd say anytime anybody's opposing them, for sure they do it. And they do it even to their constituents. That's why I laugh at the ones who come in there and beg for money and you know, preach their allegiance to these people. It's like you're dumb enough to keep voting for them. Of course, they're not going to change. They have the power. You know what they're already like. You got a taste of it. You want more. You're crying that you want change. If you want change, then change your vote. Maybe that'll just work. Maybe that'll get the change you wanted. Maybe. Maybe not. But I'd say one already disappointed you. What makes you think they're not going to disappoint you again? Usually tends to be that way, even in life. You find somebody who in life who's disappointing individual in your life, and they disappoint you. You don't tend to trust that person, and usually they'll end up disappointing you again because that's who they are. You know? A tiger don't change his stripes. It is what it is, man. Giving away a virus, yes. No, they're still at recess. I'm watching it on the other screen. And now everybody's been sitting online for 2 hours, 24 minutes. They've been sitting on their phones, waiting. 2 hours, 24 minutes to maybe get called to talk for 3 minutes, 4 max. A minute on each of the 3 items that they pick, plus 1 minute for general comment. And you know and I know, if we pulled our phones out and we actually timed it, I'm willing to put money where my mouth is as they're cutting you short at least 10 seconds. Like while they're explaining anything to you, your time's running. Anytime they say the time stopped, they'll take a few seconds and then stop it. Because they don't want to hear from you. They just want they just want your vote. That's all they want. That's all these folks want is the vote for the power. And their work speaks volumes here. I just heard somebody talking about how it used to be a dream state, now it's a nightmare state. You just heard him say that 35 minutes ago. And I believe it. That's it, Richard. I'm telling you. I'm writing you in if you're not on the ballot. Because I have mine. I just haven't opened it up and voted yet. I'm scared. Like I got to figure out not to who to vote for, but more to where to put it so I feel like it got there securely. Not that I even believe they even count them or anything. It's probably all just fucking rigged anyways. They give you the illusion of your choice mattering, going out and wasting your time and doing all that. And then, it doesn't even count. You know, and they say it's not the votes that count, it's the person who counts the votes that counts. Yeah. Just don't believe anything anymore. Maybe I'm just a pessimistic person. I don't know. Call me what you want. But I just think that's really what it's at. That's where we're at. Serrano is running. He's in the room. You can ask him yourself. That's it, Richard. That and again, all this, honoring folks. I'm not that I'm not for honoring it, even though it wastes our money to give them these plaques and all this shit. But especially now, we're in a hard time. We're in a deficit. Went from the windfall to the deficit so quickly. We could cut back on doing that and honor folks later. They'll still be here. I'm sure of it. That could be one part where you just save thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands right there, just on that. And wasting all this time for an hour ahead of the time honoring folks. Honor them on your own time. Why do you need to honor them in front of the people that really don't even like you? Are you parading it? I mean, does it have to be on television? What's the real deal there? Yeah, it's just such a clowncil. That's why I put it as that. It's a clowncil. We laugh at the Thornton Township. By the way, we'll be watching them live today at 4:30. We laugh at Dalton, but the same shit's happening here. The only thing here is they have probably 100x the money to swindle versus Dalton. Their work speaks volumes. In fact, this place right here still has a ton of homeless folks on it, but it's a lot more cleaned up than it used to be. It was like a shanty town over here. They took over. It was nothing but homeless folks in their tents. And and funny enough as it is LAPD, well, that's their area. It took the sheriff department to come in and do something finally. I don't know if that was a stunt. You know what I mean? Because sometimes they don't like each other so much in some capacities, I would say. So I don't know if it was something like that finally sparked it to finally clean up on what's going on. I mean, people couldn't enjoy. They weren't doing this, about a year back. It was literally fights all the time. It was more homeless tents than it was vendors. It was wild. It's pure pandering. Absolutely something. I agree. It's all to get the vote, all to get the power, and that's it. You got the power. It doesn't matter after that. You can do what you want. And this is like a good old boy club, as they call it, where you get in the club and, you gotta get a harumph out of that guy. Sometimes you don't, and I assure you, it ends up biting them back in the ass. Like I said, the whole thing's corrupt. So the only way to change it is to get rid of all of them. And I assure you, if you got rid of all 15 of them and you just hired one person, I believe one person could do with the staffing, with the same amount of money and staffing that you had to pay for the rest of those ding-dongs, you'd end up still saving millions of dollars, and one person would do it. I assure you. It's a little corrupt system where they all get their little slice of the pie. Ban everything they want to ban and, fuck around. And some of them get in trouble, like, what's his name? Richard Alacone. Just got sentenced to 13 years in prison. Just started his term. 13 years. Sheesh. That ain't no slice of cake, bro. 13 years. When homeboy's already, I think, 60. Like, who knows? He may die in there. Oh, boy. I don't know. Because, again, that's federal crimes that they're doing. It's different. You're doing 90%. They got, like a 97% conviction rate? The government's coming at you like that. They pretty much got you. Why don't I leave Cali, bro? Well, it's mainly because of my mother. My mother's here. She's getting up in age. She lost my father 2 years back. And, she needs help doing things and stuff. She does plenty on her own. I'm not talking like that. She's a strong lady. She does things. But anytime she needs any help, not to mention, God forbid, somebody breaks into her house, I'm not that far away. Things like that. So if my mom was in another state or whatever, I would move or somewhere else. If I knew she was okay. What's up, Jack? Just chilling with the fam, waiting for these idiots to get out of recess and do the phone calls. Or did they recess the whole meeting and not take phone calls? It's all I can think of, because this seems awful long. I don't know if it normally takes that long. Anybody watching the LA audit feed? Is she still live in there? Is she outside? Is she inside? Can you see? Other than that, like I said, I'd be out, man. I don't care, I'd be out. But I honestly feel, like I said, if things happen where may happen, it won't matter where you go, what state. If you're in this country, you're fucked. Things like, just your, little things like Twitter and all that stuff. Most of that'll be gone. Shows on YouTube like this will definitely be gone. They'll cancel me in a heartbeat. And that's just what it'll be. They'll decide what you get to watch and what you want to watch, and that's it. Yeah, Dead Mike. I was born right up there back.
Hernandez, Hut, Krikorian, Lee.
Oh, they're still in there.
Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto, Martinez, Yaroslav.
So maybe it just took forever to get the ones that were really being disrupted.
Before we go into virtual public comment,
Councilwoman Yaroslavsky, you on the board. For what purpose do you rise?
Yes, the city attorney has the technical or the minor amendment to item 13. I was hoping you could read it in.
Yes, so the amendment on item number 13, again, it will only make minor changes to the existing language. So it is not a new recommendation. Reads, I move that item number 13 be amended to adopt the following revision to condition approval number 1 in lieu of any prior language as follows. 1, and this is the new language, no later than 18 months from the effective start date, end of the new language, of the tenancy of a new operator, and the following language is struck. No earlier than 8 to 12 months and no later than 12 to 18 months from the effective start date of this determination. The tenancy of a new operator, and that's end of the struck language. All of the other language remains the same. And is there a second to this motion? I'm being told that it is Councilmember Lee.
Okay. Councilmember Lee seconds. Okay. Anything we need to do before we go into virtual public comment?
No, sir.
All right. Let's do 10 minutes on the phones.
10 minutes. See, that's 3 calls.
Caller with the digits ending in 9519.
That's 3 calls.
You may speak.
Not even 2.5. It's supposed to be 3 minutes.
9519.
Plus
please
1 minute.
Unmute yourself.
Yes, my name is Jason. I'm a smoker can viewer.
Good afternoon. Which items would you like to speak to?
Let me get elevator items, general public comment, if I can.
Okay, and I know we had a recess, so just for everybody who's still on the phones, the items that are open for public comment are items 13 through 22 and items 24 and 25. So you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Cool, thank you there, brother. Question: can we get like some of the stores down there to maybe some of the vendors to sell like Benadryl or something there? Because the other day
I'm going to need you to stick to the agenda items, or I'm going to move you to general. This is your only warning. Go ahead.
I understood. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to say. You know, I think it's not appropriate for me to say bless you to a chick while she's pulling on the end of my cock with her mouth. I was thinking if we had some Benadryl or something down there that I could give her, to hook her up.
Okay, so this is not on the agenda, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Go ahead. Again, that needs to be matters that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city.
Well, thank you there, girl. Hey, did you lose weight? I mean, because it looks like your head getting bigger there. Anyway, shout out to the smoke can community there, but like I was saying that, if you had like Benadryl or something I can give the chick there, that way she won't be sneezing and coughing all over, the head of my cock when I'm trying to, get my $5 with a hand job. And if we had like some of the vendors down there to sell some of that, that'd be good there. Or maybe we got fat head posters for those out there. Maybe have a little stand there with them, like some free Benadryl, because these chicks they be having struggling with the baby batter, keeping it down, I guess, and it's going everywhere and coming out the nose and ears and everywhere else.
So again, this does not appear to be something that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. I need you to connect it to something that's within the subject matter jurisdiction of the city.
And y'all don't have anything to do with Picaroa down here, sir?
Located where?
Because last I heard, remember that was in the city there.
Next caller.
Where? On Figueroa.
Caller with the digits ending
Shout out
in
to Jason.
2616.
Great
Unmute
call,
yourself.
Jason. Watch, it's Jason again. Watch.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn.
Oh, the lawyer.
It's Eric Previn from Studio City. I'd like to speak on the available items and also a general public comment.
Good afternoon. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin with the items.
Okay, well, the appointments to the Charter Reform Commission are of note. Jorge Nuno, who's a guy who runs 2 places. One's like a communications group that loves to get guys like Marquis Harris Dawson elected, and then also he's in the weed business. So, and the other guy is, I think he worked for Weezer and serves on the Metropolitan Water District. So, these are great independent appointments. These are highly connected guys who are going to help out. So, interesting work. And thanks to the TM23 Foundation that De Leon was talking about. And thanks to Gerardo for running against him. But getting to the items, I would also suggest that the speed bumps in CD2 need to be contextualized because Krikorian is leaving now, and here's a $200,000 what have you, or maybe more, I don't know. And it's just very suspicious that this would be happening right now as his hand-picked sidekick is coming in, who runs the Office of Taxation. And how upsetting that the Budget and Finance presentation was not made before the council today when we have all these swirling issues about liability. And isn't it odd, Blumenfield, nice to see you up there again, sir, how I've been talking about the liability crisis for more than 5 years. I sued the other agency, the county, to make sure they provided legal billings that they were submitting, private firms were submitting to the county. And it's the same problem at the city. They get into these terrible legal snarls.
So
and
you're speaking to items that are not
up.
open for public comment, so I need you to stick to the agenda. You can speak to this during general if you'd like.
You're saying that I should be speaking to can I speak about the housing units?
Yes, as long as it's one of
Are
the
you
items that's
interrupting
open
me?
for public comment.
Yeah, I think a good rule of thumb next to Rule 7 and Rule 12 is the rule that you shut the fuck up so you don't
So
distract.
you have been warned. You
know
are
what I mean?
not on topic. I'm going to move you to general public comment.
Okay.
You have 1 minute. Go
Lawyer
ahead.
fight.
You can continue your current
Let's
thought.
go to general public comment. And a shout out to Judge David O. Carter, who is the judge who is applying all sorts of pressure to the county and the city for their malfeasance. I mean, for the endless cycling around and playing these very games where accountability is blocked in favor of, I don't know, some kind of grandstanding. Today was one of the most embarrassing meetings. You don't have to love the presidential candidate, vice president, to Melina Abdullah to hear what she said today. She brought people down for civic engagement, and this is just an embarrassment. And it's an embarrassment because of the draconian policies. And I do think somebody suggested Hernandez ought to be the head of budget and finance. It's not a bad choice. And Matt Szabo, after years of diligent work, ought to quit because he's in over his head. This is just a snarl. And Krikorian gets all the credit and all the blame. Thank you.
Oh, I loved it. Fucking Eric the lawyer, Eric Previn, getting a little angry with the
Call
other
with
lawyer.
the digits,
The
4208.
lawyer fight.
Afternoon, it's Rob Kwan. I'd like to speak on items 14, 15, and general public comment.
Good
Shout out
afternoon.
to
You have
Rob
2 minutes
Kwan.
for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items. Go ahead.
Good to see you, Grove. Virtual. Items 14 and 15 are on our Charter Reform Commission appointments. And I just want to note, looking at both of their council files right now, neither of them have Form 700s up there. This is usually something that gets Councilmember Rodriguez casting protest votes. It's a little sad, considering I tried to give a heads up on this yesterday. I don't have any particular issues with any of the appointments, but like just for example, Mr. Nuno is a campaign consultant, including for Mayor Batt. The public deserves to clearly see who the recent clients are of an appointee. That's why we file Form 700. But none of you care to even ask them general questions, let alone about something like this. Interesting. Of course, on our ballot this fall, we have HH that presents a solution. Because of Councilmember Rodriguez's protest vote, we have a solution that you can't approve somebody unless they've filed their Form 700. However, it doesn't say how soon you have to file it. So we might have a situation where, like right now, let's just say the Form 700 got submitted in the next few minutes. You could vote on it. We wouldn't have any advance notice, and it would be all good. It's just kind of the half-baked reforms that we got out of this council. All sad. It's really just about the principle. We're doing charter reform. And I think some of you around this horseshoe need to pay attention. There's one of you who knows all about delaying a Form 700 to hide pretty shocking sources of income. I'll leave that as a teaser to be continued. And on behalf of Council District 1, I have to disagree with Mr.
General
President.
public comment.
Matt Szabo deserves an apology. Councilmember Hernandez bullying him for not giving a presentation that she apparently didn't arrange to happen. And it's not the first time a new member has learned this lesson. It's kind of a rite of passage. But usually it happens the first couple months in, not a couple years in. and not being prepared, that's why you're stuck on the fucking committees you are right now. You need to step it up. On behalf of District 1. Have a nice evening.
Tell him, Rob. That's it, I bet.
caller?
Holy cow, they actually
Caller with the
took a
digits
fourth
ending
caller.
in 1881.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, Candido.
1720.
Great panderer.
And public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items.
Will he
and 1
talk
minute for
about
general.
Jason?
Please begin
Yes
with the
or no?
items.
Put it in the chat room.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to start with 20. Please, I would ask the council to listen to Noel White. That man has served the community, the city of Los Angeles, and I would ask the council to please send 20 back for review and take a better look at that. Item 17, I support, I'm in the 12th district, I support that extra police funding. They've done a great job for us. Now listen, let me just make it very clear. I've seen and felt the pain of one bad cop. I felt that pain when he humiliated my son who has mental illness. I know that pain. But how many good cops that have I worked with who have done great things for a lot of children, especially minority children? The Jeopardy program, the DARE program. Cops working with the community. All they want to do is go home and be happy and safe, just like the rest of us. That's why Jim McDonald is probably the best candidate for police chief. He has the experience and he knows what's wrong with the system. So I would hope that the public would support Mr. Jim McDonald. Lastly, public comment. May I go to public comment?
Okay, so you have 1 minute. Go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Gold, I'm tired of it. Every time you warn people, either have the balls to throw somebody out or Camille Lewis, 7 times you threatened to throw her out. Yet Camille and Michelle Dumont and that other knucklehead, they're the one that brought violence to city council. They are the ones that attacked seniors. They are the ones that bludgeoned, literally just beat the hell out of a Jewish man with a computer. Why do you allow that? Why does that weak president, I'm sorry he looks sharp today with his tie on, but my God, he's got to show some balls in there and start enforcing what the rules are. But please, don't give 1, don't give 7, give none, and take control of the city council again. It's an embarrassment, sir. It's an embarrassment. Thank you.
Caller, your time has expired.
We've taken 12 minutes of phones.
We said we'd take 10 and we took 12.
Okay.
We're so kind, aren't
what's
we?
next on our agenda?
Mr. President, the
that's it,
council
guys.
may now vote on items 2, 9, 14 through 16, 18 through 20, and 22.
Time to pull that old cord.
Okay. Any members wish to speak on these items? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
12 ayes.
You got to harump at
Mr.
all
President,
of them.
would you like to move on to item 25 as amended?
Yes, let's take that up for consideration. Item 25
Just
is
to let
amended.
you guys know, though, we'll be
Any members
live.
wish to
Richard,
speak?
I'm sorry they dumped you. See, that's what I mean. Richard was on the
Seeing no
phone
members
for
on the
2
queue,
hours.
Let's open the roll.
At least 2 hours, 47
Close the
minutes.
roll.
At least.
And tally the votes.
And then they hung up on him.
12 ayes.
Great. That
Damon,
measure is
why don't you
adopted.
call
Next, I
in?
believe we have item
That's
17
why,
is called
right
for
there.
a special vote.
That's correct.
Let's.
Hi, Kat. It's
any
good to
members
see
wish
you.
to speak on item 17?
Meow.
Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll.
It's good to see you, Kat.
Close the roll. Tally the votes.
10 ayes, 1 no.
Oh, we didn't get a harumph out of Hernandez.
Next, I believe we have.
She's in trouble.
items
Oh,
2,
yeah, you didn't vote for my
21,
shit, huh?
Mr. President,
Wait till
I
you
believe
put
we
something
have
up.
Soto
recusal?
Martinez.
Okay. Soto Martinez, what purpose do you rise?
Yes, Mr. Chair. My screen is not working. I meant pushing my button to vote no on item 17. So can you please register me as a no vote?
Without objection, that will be so noted. It doesn't change the outcome, so we can make that adjustment.
That's correct. And the final vote would be 9 ayes and 2 noes.
Okay. Okay, next item.
I believe it would be item 13 as amended by Yaroslavsky Lee.
Okay, any members wish to speak? Seeing no members on the queue, let's open the roll. Close the roll. Tally the votes.
11 ayes.
11.
Great. That is measures
One
adopted.
more
Next
than
item.
10.
Item 21, called special by Councilmember De Leon.
Okay. and
Always,
is-
Randy.
This is one Mr. Price is recusing. He's not.
Wonder how much that dude makes. Sure, it's good
Item
money.
21. It's called special. Mr. De Leon.
Yeah, thank you much.
Audio
Mr. President,
visual
colleagues.
expert.
I rise for your support for item number 21. I want to thank Ms. Rahman as well. This is a measure where we're moving $400,000 to help complete the financing for 31 units for women who are victims of domestic violence, of sexual violence, of verbal violence as well. This is on the 710 Caltrans properties, and we know the legacy of Caltrans.
I think he got a
where they
few
had these
drops.
properties for well over a half a century. Now that, that we have the final nail in the coffin legislatively in Sacramento, that the 710 freeway will never be completed through the communities of El Sereno, Alhambra, South Pasadena, and Pasadena. We're now in the process of creating affordable housing for many folks. So this specifically is $400,000
Dictorous men. Dictorous.
economics for women with the
That's
East Los
awesome.
Angeles Women's
I'd
Center
love to
will be
watch
the
it.
service provider.
I wish I could
it's
stream this
31
stream. It'd be
units that
awesome.
will
I'd
be
go
built.
live.
The $400,000
I don't need
completes the
permission. I don't know
financing
anybody there.
that they needed. They needed that bridge financing to be completed, and we'll be
It'd be
offering
interesting
those
to like go
dollars so
down
we can
there
have
and
31 units
start a
of
page
affordable
right
housing
away and
for
go
women
live.
who are victims of sexual and domestic violence and their
Pretty
children.
sure you can go live with no followers, right? Or one follower till you can go live. You
Any
just
other
can't
members wish to
monetize,
be
right?
heard?
Be amazing
Seeing
to
no members
see
on the queue, let's open the
how
roll.
many followers you could get in one day.
Close the roll. Tally the votes.
Like, would you be able to get
11
1,000 in
ayes.
one day?
Okay,
I
that
bet
measure's
you
adopted.
would.
Next
You'd
item.
go from
Item
new
24,
account to
called,
monetized
called for a
in
separate
one
vote
stream.
by Councilmember Lee.
I bet.
Okay. Any members wish to be
All right,
heard
it's
on
time
this
for?
item?
Round 8, smoke.
Seeing no members on the queue. Oh,
I did have
Member on
coffee.
the
This
queue.
old big ass thermos.
No worries. Mr. Soto Martinez.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair.
It's almost
Good morning, colleagues. I introduced this resolution because I think it's far too long since we've modernized our laws in California in regards to rent control. Now, just a little bit of a
Travel
history
guy.
lesson. Our current rent stabilization ordinance is without doubt the most powerful tool we have
Let's go,
to
travel
combat
guy.
homelessness, make sure the rents don't go out of control. We make sure keep Angelinos in their home, and
Thank
we
you,
need to
travel
have
guy.
this tool expanded as much as possible. Because since
Imagine
everything
Dragons
built
at the
after
bowl.
1978,
Oh, man,
we
what a
have
great
literally
place to
no
go see it.
control or
Enjoy
no
the
power
show.
Over those units.
Enjoy the show.
And as folks may know,
What a great place to
Costa-Hawkins
see 'em
was-
too,
which
huh?
was passed in 1995, is basically guts our ability to expand that rent control. It just so happened that in 1995, it was 2
Yeah,
years
enjoy the
where
concert, bud.
Republican legislators had control of the assembly, passed this law, which I think
you
is
rock.
also a historical point that we need to think about. And it makes no sense that
All right,
we
Richard,
can
have a great
rent
day.
stabilized units built in 1975, but we don't have the power to do those for buildings built in 1980. And we know that we've been
Holy
losing our
smokes.
RSO stock every single year through demolitions, through conversions.
Man, thank
we see
you
those
so
numbers
much,
go dwindling
Patrol.
down every single year. We see that story rents are pushing people out. The city is very unaffordable. And so I think if we're going to solve the housing crisis issue, the homelessness issue, and make sure people can live in the city of Los Angeles,
thank you
we need
so
to
much.
at least have the
I
ability
appreciate
to
you,
try
Patrol.
to
Thank
expand
you,
that here in
man.
the city of Los Angeles.
Thank you,
and so
Patrol.
I ask for your a vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any
I
other members wish to
appreciate
be
you.
heard on this item?
Patrol, you rock. So do you.
Seeing no members on
travel
the queue.
guy.
I'm looking around in case your machines aren't working.
I'm having trouble
Um,
today.
Let's open the roll.
So tight in my face. There.
Close the roll. Tally the vote.
8 ayes, 3 noes.
Thank you, Patrol. Thank you, travel guy.
Okay,
There's
thank
rock.
you. Next item.
Mr. President, council has motions for posting and referral.
Okay, without objection, they're posted and referred. Announcements? Colleagues, anyone have an announcement?
I'd smoke weed on
To
a
my
boat.
left,
I have
Mr.
before
Lee.
back in the day.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm sure this doesn't need
We go in the
to be
little
said.
bathroom,
I'm sure
Blaze.
everyone is excited about the upcoming World Series between us and New York Yankees. I know the whole city's excited. This in front of me is the trophy from the last time we faced them in the World Series, which is in
Oh, damn.
1981. And of course, we won that World
That's
Series.
crazy.
And so we are
Don't
going
you
to
go
be
jinxing it,
establishing a little
motherfucker.
challenge between our city council and the New York City Council. And hopefully we can have, in the good spirit of sportsmanship, just want to make sure that, just want to announce that we're excited, but we don't have to worry because the Dodgers aren't going to lose this. And so we're just
Man,
excited
don't you
to
go
make that
jinxing it,
announcement,
fool.
and we'll have further details on
Telling
that
you.
tomorrow.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Lee, and excited about those details. And I assume you were the shortstop on the Dodgers then? That's why you have that trophy? Okay. Any other announcements?
You were the shortstop.
Thank you, Mr. Spindler, for your hearty laugh. Seeing no other announcements.
He
Does
made
anyone
himself
have,
laugh.
adjourning motions? Yes. Okay, so I could ask everyone in the
Ah.
chambers to rise.
Get up out of here, son. Look at him, look at him,
We'll
look at
start
him, look at
with,
him, look at
Mr.
him.
De Leon for an adjourning motion.
Just flicking everybody
Thank you
off.
much, Mr. President. Colleagues, today I rise to adjourn in the memory of a true trailblazer in the wine industry and beloved member of our community, Maddalena Maria Stragoni Reboli, who passed away peacefully on September 8th, 2024, at the age of 101 years old.
Whoa.
Maddalena's journey began in Mombazzuro, Piemonte, Italy, where she was born on December 7th, 1922, before her family made her way all the way to America
Madeline.
when she was
Rest
just
in peace,
7
Madeline.
years old. They settled in the historic Guazzi winery village, where her father, Giovanni, had been working since 1918, laying the foundation of what would become a legacy in California's wine industry. Maddalena's brilliance shined early on with a natural talent for mathematics, science, and sports. These skills, combined with a business acumen she developed while running a produce stand from her family farm, set her apart as a young woman with a drive and vision. After
For sure,
graduating
Patrol, it's
from
all about
Chino High
gaslighting
School
and-
in 1941, she began her career.
If they stomped
at
out the homelessness,
Cucamonga Vineyard
then
Company.
there'd be no
It
budget
was
to
here
steal
that
from.
Maddalena's leadership qualities truly emerged, and where she met
And that's
the
how
love
they blow the
of her
funds.
life, Stefano
Keeping the problem
Reboli,
alive.
during the difficult years of World
Because
War II.
problems
A
create
true
budget.
pioneer, Maddalena broke barriers in the wine industry.
Solve the
She was
problem,
instrumental in opening
no budget.
one of California's first wine tasting rooms and led a female-driven distribution company at a time when the industry was overwhelmingly male-dominated. Maddalena also
Riboli,
championed
not
the
ravioli.
importation of European
Riboli.
wines,
Come on.
expanding the horizons of California's wine culture. In 1972, she established the Maddalena Restaurant, a downtown Los Angeles
beautiful
landmark
long
that
life.
still
100
serves
years
as a
old,
testament
101.
to her enduring spirit. Maddalena was not only a groundbreaking businesswoman, but also a devoted wife, mother, and grandmother and
Oh
great-grandmother.
man, she shared.
Her
That's my
legacy
birthday.
extends far beyond
Not
the vineyards and
1922
wine
though.
cellars. Lives on through her family, whom she cherished deeply.
She was born on my.
Her
We
children,
share the same
Simon,
birthday.
Kathy and Steve. Her grandchildren, Anthony, Lisa, Michael, and David. David was here earlier, but had to leave. Dante, Blake, Christopher, and Alexander. And her great-grandchildren, Elena, Sophia, Shane, Devin, Catherine, Dylan, and Weston. Maddalena's life was one of love, of perseverance, and vision. She transformed challenges into opportunities, and her
You meanie
contributions
Dan.
have left an indelible mark on California's cultural and culinary landscape. As we honor her memory today, we celebrate a life lived with passion and purpose and the extraordinary legacy she leaves behind. I know that we have Ronnie here, who's representing the San Antonio Winery, and all of the Reboli family here today in recognition of this incredible woman, this
Poor
incredible
family had to go
again,
through all
woman
that.
who left an indelible mark in the footprint of the great
The
city
clearing,
of
the
Los
wasting, the
Angeles.
time,
To
all
incredible
that shit.
Maddalena Maria
Mr. Herman,
Stragni,
Mr. Spindler.
Satragni
Three and
Reboli,
shrimp.
may you rest in peace.
Had to deal with all that. Look
Thank
at his
you.
face. I'd be angry too.
Councilwoman Hernandez.
Thank you, Council
See,
President.
all this should be
I just
done
wanna
at
say
a
that I'm glad
separate
that we're
meeting.
adjourning today's meeting
All
in
the
honor of
honoring.
Maddalena Reboli, the matriarch.
And of course,
and head
who's
of the
left?
Reboli
Spindler
family.
and Herman. The
I wanna
only
extend
two
my
left in the
deepest
room.
Condolences to the family, friends, neighbors, and community
All right,
members
everybody.
who mourn the loss of Maddalena. She reminded, when I went to her her celebration of life. I learned a lot about her and a lot of what she has done to really bring her family forward and to uplift them. And it really reminded me of all the work that my mom has done as a Mexican,
I don't doubt it,
Mexican
Mike.
immigrant coming to this
For
country.
real.
The future investments that she made for future generations, the type of entrepreneurship, business mindset that Madalena
gotta go to the polling place and
is
put it
really
in there.
what has lifted this family and made them prominent and so impactful in this community. And so I thank her for her leadership. You can see the impact in Chinatown of her thoughtfulness, of her entrepreneurship. You can see all of that also in Lincoln Heights and the tremendous impact that they have there. She had a profound love for her family, and people in Northeast LA are always reminded of that, and her legacy stretches far beyond Los Angeles. She was loved and admired by so many, and it was really special, again, to witness her celebration of life. It was beautiful. Y'all know how to really celebrate people, and to be there to witness all the people that loved her, just was a really awesome moment. So thank you for allowing us to be there with you all. May she rest in the warm embrace of our ancestors, and may her legacy of love and family live on in many spaces that she impacted. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other adjourning motions? To my left, to my right? Seeing no other adjourning motions, go forth, serve the city, do great work. This meeting is adjourned.
So cringe. Look at him flicking everybody off. Oh, I stayed all just for that. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, for now. But remember, this might only be half of the craziness we see tonight, because I think we're going to have a lot of fireworks tonight, because we're doing Thornton Township meeting. Shout out to Critical Smoker. We'll go and use his feed, and shout out to him. I'll link his page in a moment. When we go live there, so that way we know where we're going. You guys would know where to go and click like and subscribe on his page, and we'll see what's going on with what's her name, Tiffany, because she'll definitely be there for the Thornton Township meeting. You know what I mean? It's different than Dalton. I know Dalton. A lot of things have happened as of late. You know, I want to see what's going on, and should be interesting. Should be interesting. So tonight. Later tonight, guys, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, we'll be live for the shit show in Thornton Township. Oh, she'll show up for Thornton Township. It's Dalton that she's really not just, you know, at the Dalton situation, they're totally on the outs. It's like one side shows up and then she doesn't, then she shows up and they don't. That's what's happening in Dalton right now. But in Thornton Township, which it does include Dalton and has different trustees, she's there every time, and they go back and forth. There's one dude, I think his name is like Chris Hernandez or something like that. He's one of the trustees, and they go back and forth all the time. So we'll see what's going on there. It should be an interesting show, because I don't really want to show the ones in Dalton unless she shows up anymore, because it's really just a city getting, I hate to say it, but there's no train wreck, and that's obviously why we watch it. I'm not going to lie. I mean, obviously we hope for the best for the people of Dalton, you know what I mean, because they're the ones that get screwed, all in all. So, put on a shirt. I got one. I got my Fop Star shirt on. Shout out to Drew Foppy. Dude's amazing, dude. Guitar tech for Chino Moreno, the Deftones. For Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins. And I'm pretty sure he might be with the Darkness right now. I don't know. You know, you work with many bands when you're a good tech like he is. Yeah. When you bust your guitar just because you're a rock star, he's the one that fixes it like that. He's a good dude. So yeah, will there be an audit? Well, I mean, the federal government at some point will be an audit, and that's why I think that Thornton Township's more crazy, because it's 17 towns, including Dalton. So, small as Dalton is, and as corrupt as Dalton is, she's handling all the other stuff. There he is. There's Critical Smoker. About 3 hours. Okay, so let me link his page so you guys could go hang out with Critical Smoker. Shout out to Critical. He's going to be live a little early. I'm going to hop on around 4 because I got eBaying and all that crap to do. But I want you guys to go hang out with him. Oh, come on, man. Where's my 420 likes? Thank you to everybody who did give a like. Click like and subscribe. It really does help. Why can't I type? Why can't I type? Don't tell me it's out of fucking... It's dead. No way. It's at 48%. Don't give me that shit. Wait, I think that's it now. There we go. There we go. Had to wake that bitch up. There we go. So yeah, we'll be live about 4 o'clock. Oh, he'll be live in 3 hours. I saw that. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. Thank you, Critical. Yeah. So here, let me give you his page so you guys can click like and subscribe on his page for all the fun stuff. He's showing all the truth that's really happening. There's the link. Click like and subscribe. That is his YouTube channel. I'm not sure if he's got anybody else. He does have a Teespring, so you can buy some of his merch. And we'll go hang out with him in a little bit at 4:30 today, Pacific time. Okay. But yeah, no, thank you, Critical, for coming and hanging out and showing what's going on, man. That's important. Important to see what's going on and expose these folks. Because again, a feed like yours, they can't control. You have all the control of your own feed, whether you stop it or not. They can control their own feed. Like today, you saw it here just now. How did they shape the narrative? They went to recess. They blocked anything and everything you could hear or see. Cleared most of the room. You know what I mean? And that's how they do it. It's their way or the highway. And, you know, these people are corrupt. They don't care. And it starts in small towns like Dalton. And then it's just, like I said, it's just as corrupt here. Like I said, these people are just as corrupt. They just have more money to steal. That's why my city, it's beautiful, man. It's got a lot of beautiful people, but it's fucked up looking right now. Because a lot of those people don't give a shit. All they care about is power and money and keeping the problems going. That creates issues. Issues create budget. And that's really what it breaks down to. You tired, essay? Don't be telling me, Jorge. Fucking Jorge coming up in here.
Shut your mouth, essay.
It's for you, Jorge. Sub to him, sweet. Yeah, man. I appreciate it because he comes and he hangs out with us. He's a smoker. You know what I mean? And he doesn't have to go and waste his time at Dalton, but he is, to show you what's really going on in this city. And that's what I like. I like people that are willing to go out there and show what's truly going on. Let us shape our own opinions. You know what I mean? Spectrum fucking up again, man. I gotta tell them. I gotta call them up today and tell them.
Oh, you people can kiss the fattest part of my ass.
And I mean the fucking fattest part. I should put the phone up to the mic and then do that. See what they say. Wait, I'm talking to Peter Griffin? Yes. Just do a whole soundboard of Peter Griffin, answer them all. And everything just with the Peter Griffin soundboard. I could do it. I know I can. Thank you guys. Thank you for all what you do for me. Thank you so much, Patrol. Thank you so much, Travel Guy. Thank you so much to everybody who donated today. You guys were super generous. Sam, thank you for the donation. Thank you to Dark Pal. I appreciate you, Dark Pal. You know, all you guys are so kind, man. And I appreciate you. I don't deserve it. Yet you still send it, and I love it. Thank you. JC, thank you as well. I will see you guys tonight. Like I said, we'll go hang out with Critical Smoker at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time. So you guys go and enjoy yourself. Get yourself your lunch and your late lunch, your early dinner. Get all that done so you can get your popcorn ready and come hang out with us, because I think it's going to be a little bit of a fireworks show over there, in my opinion, because I really do think she will show up. I really do. It's going to be meeting crazy as usual. So, on behalf of everybody, behalf of Stink Bomb and myself, I'm out of here for now. I appreciate each and every one of you. The thumbs ups work and they're free. I'll see you guys in a little bit, 4:30 p.m.